Colvil and Soames by Christopher Lee. Bad Apples, Episode 1.
All yours, Arthur.
What do you reckon, then?
Oh, something very big. Something like a 12 bore, middle of the face.
I can see that myself.
Hey! Don't move your foot. Oh, sorry. Bit of brain. Hadn't noticed it.
Get that sheet over, Billings, otherwise we'll have every bleeding gull on the south coast having a go. When do you think?
Tell you by lunchtime.
Guess.
Well, 4 hours ago. 5.
About 1 or 2 this morning.
That's arithmetic, not a medical opinion. Soon as you let me have him, sooner you'll know.
GCI Gusford, sir.
See you, Arthur.
Soon as, OK. Who are you, then?
DS Jenkins, sir.
Who?
Jenkins, sir. Gwen Jenkins.
That's not English, is it?
What isn't, sir?
Jenkins isn't.
Welsh.
I thought there was something odd.
Sir, I don't understand,
Right.
is there...
Have you had your breakfast?
Sir?
We'll soon see. Come on then, Billings. Let's have it off again.
What's up?
Oh, hell. That's nasty. Very nasty. What did that?
Doc says probably a 12 bore straight in the hooter.
Probably. Must be pellets in there. What about a cartridge case?
Not that we can see. Now, what does that tell us then?
I suppose either we haven't found it or...
Or Chummy took it with him, which...
Which, sir, suggests a pro.
Or he's lying on it and the doc missed it. Got your plastic bags?
Oh, I'm all right now, sir. Honest, thank you.
Not for you, him.
It's absolutely...
Try his pockets, Blodwyn. Let's see who he is. And watch out for all this tar. Let's have it bagged. Could be on Chummy's boots. How far's that tide come up, Billings?
Well, not much more, sir. Reckon we're coming out to slack water now.
Good. We need this place done over. Right, Jenkins, get on with it. Soon as you're finished, let the snatchers have him. You've got to keep the place clean. Otherwise, we'll lose our pretty blue flag.
Very funny.
You took your time.
Getting the socks back on was just a little difficult, sir. Sorry.
And?
Nothing, except this.
That all?
Might be enough. Got his name inside.
Nice leather. Bit of flash.
Economist, sir. Got one myself.
Really? You into shares and things, are you?
No, sir. Just nice diaries.
Right. Now, let's see. Norman Tate. No address, no number.
Well, lots of people are secretive about things like that.
You can tell where somebody lives because most people never put their local codes in their diaries. Here we are, then. What do you see?
Quite a few 6-digit numbers.
And?
Without code, sir.
Right. So we think he could be...
From Brighton, sir.
OK. Now, which ones don't look personal?
Well, doctor for a start. Then there's dentist, Theatre Royal, B&H Cabs, SCCC.
Sussex County Cricket Club.
Couple of restaurants, Brighton Marina.
Cricket Club will do. The others won't be open until 10ish. Nip down to the county ground, give the secretary a kiss and ask him for Tate's address.
You sure he'll be there at this time of the morning?
Good thinking, Blodwyn. Give him 5 minutes. Just time for another little job for you.
Sir?
See if you can get a brew going. Plenty of sugar.
4, sir?
Exactly, Blodwyn. Exactly. And make sure it's strong. Don't let her give you an old stoats, what's it?
Hope this won't take long, Arthur.
Oh, so do I, sir. I promised Mrs. Guscott a little run out to Chevington for Sunday lunch.
How is she?
Thoughtful.
Yes, well, say hello for me. This one's different, isn't it?
Wagging a 12 bore up both nostrils isn't your usual social domestic or pleasure.
Well, someone's going to have to say so for the lunchtime news.
On a Saturday, sir, no one's interested.
We close half the sodding beach off in the middle of June. That's interesting. Press desk wants a quote. Apparently you told them to bog off.
She's a dickhead.
She says the press wants to know if it's drugs.
They always do.
Well, it usually is. Personally, I couldn't care a toss what they do to each other. I'd pay for the cartridges if they asked me.
As long as they do it on someone else's patch.
Right. I've got 2 murders, 9 rapes, 3 of them male, and a blackout. And I'm 15% down on manpower, so unless it turns nasty, you're on your own.
What's nasty?
A nutter. Well, you know, Hungerford.
No chance. If Chummy had scummed a jogger or an early dipper, maybe, but this Tate bloke was in full Armani. No, this was an RV. Had to be.
Is this his?
Yes, sir. In his pocket.
Economist diary. That's more Geeves than Armani, isn't it?
All the wrong people got the money nowadays, sir.
Got it, sir. It was almost next door to the county ground. Flat 35, Cumberland House, Brighton.
Oh, actually.
Yes, sir.
Well, sure. I don't want the Argus up my chuff.
D.S. Jenkins was about to give the marina a bell to cross-check. Weren't you, D.S. Jenkins?
Even now, sir. Your instructions had never left my mind.
Well, look sharpish, then.
Right girl, that. Good future.
Hello?
Good at
Dock
tea.
office?
Father played for Wales, you know.
Oh, that's all right then, sir.
Look, don't knock it. It means there's character in the
Oh, I
genes.
believe that all right. There's definitely a lot in those genes, sir.
No, you're a smutty bugger,
I
Arthur.
think he may have a boat in the marina.
Tate, you said.
Norman Tate. We know him.
Rings a bell. Not much of one, but it rings.
He has. Excellent. Would you just confirm his address for me? 35. Brilliant. Thanks. Bye now.
Sorry about that. Had to cover the budgie.
In the daytime.
Gets jealous when I go out.
Good. Now,
Don't
can
the
we...
bleeding thing personally. Never mind. Go on then. Oh, sorry about the lift. They've been saying they're coming since Wednesday.
When did he go, sir?
Mr. Tate? Oh, a couple of days ago. Said he'd be a week or so.
Say where?
No. But it was abroad.
He told you that, did he?
Well, a taxi was taking him to Gatwick. That's abroad, isn't it?
You ordered a cab, sir?
No, he did. I rang up to tell him it was here. Me and the driver chatted a bit when he was coming down.
Had a bit of bunts, is there, with taxis?
Bunce? Oh, you're joking. He's me sodding brother-in-law. The only favour he ever did our family was taking that rat bag of a sister off our hands.
Where do we find your brother-in-law?
Well, he's not in trouble, is he?
No.
Pity. Oh, hang on a minute. B&H cabs. Or any betting office.
You all right, Mr. Carpenter?
Oh, it's the old lungs. Well, there's not much puff as they had. That's better.
By himself, was he?
Well, when he left, he was.
Do you think he was meeting someone?
Well, he didn't have no suitcase. Just a small bag. So maybe he was. Here we go. 35.
You sure there's no one inside?
Can't be. Burglar alarm lights on down in the office.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Carpenter. If you just leave the key with us, I'm sure you've got plenty to do.
Better stay. I mean, he's not here, is he?
Don't you worry, friend. We'll drop them back when we've had a look round.
Mr. Tate
I can
wouldn't
promise
like
you,
that.
Mr. Carpenter, that Mr. Tate will not give you a moment of grief. You have my solemn word on that.
Very nice.
Very tidy.
House proud. Old lady what does? Not a speck. Loosener. Try see.
Wonder what he's into.
This can't be real, can it, sir?
I don't see why not. It's only big.
I think it's an early Hockney.
Looks early habitat to me. How do you know, anyway?
Night school, sir. Should have been cookery, but I had a crush on the art tutor.
Nice, was she? All right, Blobwin, you take the kitchen, that being a woman's place and all that.
Oh, I thought that was the bedroom, sir.
Later. Now then, where is it? Here we are. Odd. Bloke goes away for a couple of days, doesn't leave his answer machine on. Why? Must have come back first.
Empty in there. Ice in the freezer, fizzy water in the fridge, coffee beans in the cupboard. That's it. No food. No sign of hunger.
Answer machine wasn't on.
Well, we know he came back.
But we don't know he came back here.
We don't really know if he went.
In fact, we know next to stuff all, Blodwyn, so bag the tape, we might need it.
Shall I get a printout of his calls from BT?
And his mobile. Presumably he's got one somewhere.
Wonder where he keeps his bills and things. Nothing much in here at all.
Very much here, just bedrooms.
Yeah, nothing under his name in the business section.
Like one of them show houses, except the wardrobe's full of expensive gear.
So he didn't do a runner, sir?
Someone did it for him. Listen, you go and lean against that caretaker. I bet there's not much more than that budgie in his life. See what he can tell you about our friend.
I was wondering about this, sir.
Oh, very posh. Gold edging. Who's it from?
Mrs. Miranda Peel at number 34. Gives her pleasure, it does, sir, that she will be at home at 12:30 on the 6th of June. That's tomorrow.
AM or PM? Where was that?
By the phone.
So he called her up.
Or may have done, sir.
Put money on it, Blodwyn. Place for invitations is the mantelpiece. That's what mantelpieces are for. He called her up, all right.
Oh, you'll have to excuse me, Mr.
Guscott. Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Now, don't you worry, madam, you get dressed. I've got all the time in the world.
Oh, I bet you have. We never dress until we've had our morning bath, do we, Pinky?
You have him in with you?
Of course. Loves it. Loves it to bits. Don't you, darling? He's a Shih Tzu, you know.
Oh, he is. I can see that now.
Full of surprises, you know.
Now, Mrs. Peel, you say you saw Mr. Tate on Thursday.
11 o'clock.
You're sure about that?
We're always dressed by 11. No candlewick here, you know.
And you're sure it was Thursday?
I'm not a half-wit, darling. I know the different days of the week. Off by heart, if you must know.
Can you tell me the circumstances?
Well, I sent him a little card. I'm having a select few in for Dwinkies tomorrow. A modest celebration, you know.
Birthday or something?
Don't be silly, darling. We don't have birthdays, do we, Pinky? No, darling. We had a nice win.
Lottery?
GG's. Well, we thought we'd spread a little joy, so to speak.
And Mr. Tate called you?
Said he was very, very sorry, but he had to go away. Oh, yes, I said. Well, you listen to me, I said. We're not letting you get away without a little something to be going on with. I insisted that he came round for a glass there and then.
Did he say where he was going?
Mallorca. He's got a villa, you know. Very smart. Not one of those timeshares.
And you haven't seen Mr. Tate since Thursday?
Well, for goodness sake, he's barely had time to get into his cosy, has he? Never mind coming back.
But he could have come back.
Not here he couldn't.
Oh?
Oh, yourself, darling. I'd have heard. The lift's right next door.
It's not working. It hasn't been for 3 days.
Maybe. Anyway, little Pinky barks at the slightest noise. Wonderful guard dog. Quite ferocious when he wants to be, aren't you, darling?
Tell me, was he going to Majorca by himself?
I'm sure I couldn't say. I mean, it's not the sort of thing you ask, is it?
Your friends?
You married?
Yes.
Thought so. Listen, when you're not, that's the sort of question you don't ask your friends.
It is important, Mrs. Peel. Very important.
Well, he had a lot of aftershave on.
Some men do.
11 o'clock this was. It was fresh.
Maybe it was for you.
If it was, he'd forgotten. Yes, I think he was meeting someone. Why not? Free country? You only get one life.
Mind yourself.
Could you turn that off a minute?
Well, it's got to be done. Don't keep the yard clean, the rats come in. That's better. Now, what do you want?
Hmm?
Come on, I haven't got all day.
Tell me about his visitors this week.
Mr. Tate's? Well, it's got nothing to do with me.
Listen, Mr. Carpenter, you could have vital information in a very sensitive investigation. Let's make it easier for both of us.
Sensitive? Yeah. You done a runner then?
You tell me.
Well, plenty of money. You don't graft. Got to be wrong, isn't it?
You got an office, though?
Up the West End. We don't go there much.
People come here?
Few. Not many.
Friends?
Wouldn't know.
Regulars?
Not really. Smart dressers. No tat.
Young? Old?
Well, younger than me.
Names?
Dunno. Except his mate Paul. He stays for a couple of days sometimes. Nice bloke. Strange, but nice. Comes down from London.
You sure?
Lives in Ladbroke Grove. No, well, I used to be up in Kilburn before we moved down here. Should have stayed.
You have his address?
Of course I don't. Ask your mate. She'll know.
Who?
Flossie up there at 34. I noticed he was in there.
Oh, I see. Mrs. Peel. She knows everything, does she?
Should do, shouldn't she? In her trade.
I've never met the lady.
Come on. You know her. Mrs. Peel, huh? You know, she's the woman who writes all them star things.
Oh, she's an astrologer.
Well, she's no more astrologer than I am an astronaut. But she makes a good living convincing people, she is.
You ever meet his friends?
Not to speak to. Sometimes see them when they come, but he doesn't have many visitors.
You don't know their names?
Some of the faces. I think some of them are famous.
What sort of business was he in?
Was? Something's happened to him, hasn't it?
Sorry, slip of the tongue, if you'll excuse the expression. What does Mr. Tate do for a living?
Money. Lots of it. Tells you how to invest it. Thought you'd know that.
He's a broker.
I'd say he's what they call a personal financial advisor.
Locally?
No, London. He's very successful, you know. Anything he touches turns to money.
Knows where to put it.
Oh, he certainly knows how to handle figures, does Norman. Doesn't he, darling?
Including yours, Mrs. Peel?
Yes. Yes, you could say that.
You see a lot of him?
One has one's moments, darling.
He was either giving her one or it was all wishful thinking.
His or hers?
Oh, hers all right. She's got enough bubbles to start her own fertility clinic.
There's no Mr. Peel. According to Carpenter, he went on a walk-in holiday with his barber and they ended up holding hands.
He give you a description of this Paul?
Fair, late 30s, 5'10", 11, Londoner. I've put it on the screen.
What have we got from the Met, Arthur?
Nothing much, sir. Vine Street says it's a one-room office, no key holder for the alarm.
As usual. Any chance of a formal? It'd be useful to be able to release his name.
Trouble is, even his closest friends wouldn't recognise him now.
Scars?
Couple of small ones, sir. Nothing special. The doctor says he had the beginnings of an artery on his left lung, but he wouldn't have known about it, nor would his GP. Apart from that, perfectly formed.
Well, what about his flat?
Hoovered. No family photos, no Christmas card lists, not even...
Not even what?
It's just dawned on me. Not even a passport, driving licence, car keys, credit cards, wallet.
And the only thing we found in him was his diary.
Well, what I said, mugged.
Under the West Pier. OK. Supposing it was. But what got him down there in the first place?
Not what, Arthur. Who got him down there?
Yeah. Well, you don't actually turn round to your mate and say, here, hang on to me shooter a moment, I'd better ring up his secretary and ask for an appointment, do you?
Why not, sir? I mean...
Yes, why not?
Because... Clever little Blodwin. Right, nip down to detained property and let's have that diary back. You may be right. You're certain about this?
Oh, definitely, sir. Have a look at these. Every other week for 2 months. Same people, but at different times.
But he doesn't say where or who they are.
That's what I thought, see, but then...
How
come you drink Guinness, Blodwin?
Had a crush on an Irishman, sir.
You get a lot of crushes.
Oh, yes, sir. But then, you see, I'm an only child.
God preserve us. Where were we?
The diary, sir. I started matching the dates with telephone numbers. So I went through to registry and got them to put names and addresses to them. 3 out of the 4 came up straight away. Extra, but I thought.
What about number 4, then?
Thought you should see this.
Oh, dear. Oh, very, very dear. We're absolutely certain, are we?
100%.
Who knows about this?
Oh, just the duty sergeant in registry.
Right, now get back there straight away and tell him from me that if one word leaks, just one, I'll have him on lollipop duty for the rest of his time, OK?
Yes, sir.
Go on, then. Now, just a minute. Give me that mobile of yours. Ta. Off you trot and don't talk to any strange women. Now... Mrs. Soames? Oh, it's Guscott here. You and H still in business? How is the old bastard?
Henry? He goes in, and he doesn't do much. He's weary, disillusioned.
Come on, Mrs. S. is the old school. Stiff upper tash and all that.
He now has to wear an identity tag.
On a chain?
On a chain.
What's his tailor have to say?
Precisely.
How long do you give him?
The old days are gone, and there are many who believe Henry should have gone with them.
I thought the intelligence game had sort of adjusted its dress and carried on. Business as usual.
The office, as the intelligence lovies call it, has changed. Henry hasn't. The new breed are in it for a career. Henry doesn't understand that.
And they don't understand H.
Of course they do. That's the problem.
But you're still there.
For the moment.
Alex!
But it's not much fun anymore.
I'm sorry I'm so late. I ran into Rufus in the club, and you know how he... Arthur George Guscott. Dear heart. What a wonderful surprise.
Hello, H. Still testing your tailor, I see.
But I had no idea you were in London.
Thought you people knew everything.
Tea?
Thank you, my dear.
Not everything, Arthur. Otherwise we'd have been out.
And here's me thinking you'd put that frock on for me.
If I had, I'd have chosen black.
It would have suited you.
Ah, thank you. Mm. Oh, nectar. Tell me now, you're still sleuthing among dear Graham's rocks? Unmasking Pulcinella's misdeeds at the end of the pier?
Still feeling a few collars, if that's what you mean.
And what of your dame?
I feel them, she irons them. Happy as a sand girl.
Such a choice.
Since her last operation, Mrs. Guscott's been a bit limited for choice.
I'm sorry,
You must give herself our warmest wishes. But what of you, Arthur? What brings you to London town?
A little red book, H. The property of a man called Norman Tate, who until about 2 o'clock this morning did business in this very parish.
I assume this man...
Norman Tate.
I assume he's dead.
I would if I were you, Mrs. S.
I sense, dear heart, that you'd best begin at the beginning.
So there I am, wondering where to go next, when my sergeant arrives with the diary.
The famous little red book.
I still don't see where we come in. Presumably there are some brains in the Sussex police who could solve this for you.
Try this. My sergeant noticed that most weeks Tate had written 1, sometimes 2 of his appointments, not with names, but with initials.
That's not unusual. I do it myself.
Right. Why?
Because I know who they are.
Close friends, maybe.
Usually.
So, Blodwin looks in... Jenkins, my DS. Blodwin looks in the telephone bit of Tate's diary and matches the initials to telephone numbers. 4 of them there were.
So, presumably your registry then provided you with the names to match the initials and numbers.
Exactly. 3 were people we'd never heard of. Certainly no form, and nothing in Percy or anything.
But the 4th?
Is where you come in, H. The 4th one come up on the registry as denied access.
Oh.
Very succinctly put, if I may say so, Mrs. S.
Oh, there can't be more than 30 of those in the country. Most of them here in London.
And you still don't know whose it is?
No.
But you think you might, simply from the initials?
ML. Mean anything to you, H?
Well, there was a lithographer, Lalande, Maxime Lalande, 19th century.
How do you know that?
One just does.
Yeah, well, this one just doesn't. Anyway, your bloke's presumably been ex-directory for 100 years.
M.L. You're sure?
Pope's a Catholic. The difference in you and my sergeant is that you can call your office. Unlike Blodwin, you won't be told to poke off.
Henry?
Then, my dear, we'd all be sure.
Number?
I thought you'd never ask.
Hi, Alex Soames here. Mike, Quebec, Mike, Sevener. Romeo, Kilo, Juliet. Thanks. I'd like a name on a London number. 7612411. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Bye. You were right. We are interested. Next question.
Simple. What's the late Norman Tate doing with the very, very private number of the Home Secretary?
In episode 1 of Bad Apples, you heard Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colville, Amanda Redman as Alex Soames, and Dudley Sutton as Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Detective Sergeant Gwen Jenkins was played by Sue Jones-Davies, Miranda Peel by Sheila Reid, Detective Chief Superintendent Evans by John Hartley, Sidney Carpenter by Neil Conrich, the Doctor by Stuart Organ, and the Police Constable by Brian Bowles. Colvil and Soames is written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. Colvil and Soames by Christopher Lee. Bad Apples, Episode 2.
Amen, dear gracious.
Morning, Henry.
Ah, Tom. You're well?
Better.
Excellent.
I wouldn't go that far.
You will one day, my dear, you will. But it is good to see you today.
Isn't it always good to see me?
Ah, the abrasiveness of our new ruling elite is now in the lexicon of the Cabinet Office.
Cancel your newspaper, Henry. We're not on their side. We're on nobody's side, but that
of the people. The sound-bitten jargon, we rule on behalf of the people. Therefore, if we fail, whose fault is it? The people's fault.
You're living in the past, Henry.
Each has his or her own Madeleine, even in these modern times.
There meant to be a message in there.
If you will wait, I shall look at my pager and find out for you.
Oh, very clever. Actually, not very, and I must go, so keep in touch.
I have just done so. Shall we take a turn about the square?
I have a meeting in 20 minutes.
On a Sunday?
Europe.
So the Commission has cancelled Sundays.
Come on, Henry. What is it?
Yesterday morning, the body of a man was discovered beneath the pier at Brighton.
Friend?
Not a colleague, no.
So?
So when my man Guscott of that county's constabulary came to see me, like you, I wondered what possible interest I was expected to show.
But you did show interest.
The man's name, Norman Tate. a financial services advisor.
Where's the rat?
In poor Mr. Tate's pocket, his diary. There were many entries for meetings with a person identified only by initials. An observant police officer matched the initials with a telephone number in the address section, one of only 37 in the whole country. It was on the blue list.
No one has those numbers. Whose number was it?
The Home Secretary's.
Impossible.
Not so. And remember, Detective Chief Inspector Guscott is in now about his business. He intends to open up the late Mr. Tate's office here in London, probably this morning.
And your department's jumped, Henry. I might have known.
I'm not told my department. I'm simply forewarning the sake of old Madeleine's.
Thank you for that. So this isn't official?
Not on Sunday.
But it could become so.
Everything's impossible in an impossible world.
Is your man Guscott discreet?
A paragon, Lord Copper.
And how soon is that point reached?
I would have thought quite soon.
Give me a couple of hours. I'll call.
You see, my dear... Oh, thank you, Joe. You see, to have the Home Secretary's telephone number, even the home number, is one thing. To have the denied access number and to have it written down is, well, unthinkable.
What'll he do?
Tom Margerson? Oh, I imagine he'll gently quiz the Home Secretary. Probably mention it to the Prime Minister.
How close are those two? Tom and the PM, I mean.
Well, I suppose his was not so much a political appointment as a sympathetic one.
When we knew each other, Tom regarded himself as being above politics.
Now it's the government that is. Which is why a very private telephone number could do so much damage.
But it's nothing to do with us, Henry. Nothing. Leave it to Guscott.
And so we do.
Then why are we going to Jermyn Street? We don't need to. Not our business.
And if there's something that implicates our delicate Home Secretary...
Guscott can handle it. He may be despicable, but he's professional.
It's not what he finds, it's why it's there.
You're making assumptions. Something you're always telling me not to do.
Indulge an old man. Especially one who has noticed something rather curious about this affair.
And what's that?
My dear Alex, not now. After all, for the moment, 'tis nothing but assumption.
Henry!
Now, which hat today?
Don't be infuriating.
Ah, yes, the racing felt. So appropriate for sleuthing.
Stop it! We aren't. We don't.
Come on. We'll keep waiting one who is and does.
Yes? Thank you. Home Secretary, thanks for calling back. I wonder if I may pop in for a very private word. Yes, now. I'm afraid so. I do apologize. I wouldn't dream of disturbing you on Sunday if it were not for a very important matter. Good. 10 minutes. Bye. Cabinet Secretary here. Are they back from church? I see. As soon as they come in, would you ask the Prime Minister if he would give me a quick call? Yes, I'll be at the flat. Thank you.
For someone who's supposed to have been a financial whiz-kid, there's not much here. Look at this lot.
Equitable, Norwich Union, Cayman Futures, Guinness Flight, China Futures. I'd have thought this is pretty normal fodder for clients.
Exactly, Mrs. S. Exactly. But which clients? Have you got anything, H?
No, nothing really. Forms and more forms. There's nothing to suggest that he had any clients.
Maybe people simply came here for a chat and the records are elsewhere.
Hasn't even got a desk diary.
Personal organiser, Arthur. Get modern.
Does Giorgio encourage such apparatus in his pockets?
Who?
Signor Armani. You said Tate was all designer labels.
He's got one now. It's tied to his big toe in the Brighton morgue. Here, I knew there was something odd. No computer.
But there's only one desk, so presumably he didn't have a secretary, so...
Even more reason to have a word processor.
Laptop. Take it with you.
Is this the only office he had?
It's the only one we know about.
Partner?
No sign. According to the caretaker, Tate had a friend called Paul. Regular visitor, lived in Notting Hill.
Oh, Paul of Notting Hill, that Paul. You haven't got much, have you?
Listen, Mrs. S. At 5:30 yesterday morning, I was still in bed dreaming of England winning the toss. Me and my sergeant's been hard at it ever since.
Really?
Just the two of us, plus one constable who couldn't find his bum using both hands.
So much for the full resources of the law.
On this one, Blodwin, me and Higson are the full resources. Of course, if you'd like me to announce that the Home Secretary's involved in a murder inquiry...
Arthur, please.
And I'm flaming sure we'll get every truncheon in England on the case inside 5 minutes.
That, Arthur, would be unhelpful.
And that, H, is why one of your mates needs to have a private word in the Home Secretary's harking apparatus.
This seems to be stuck. Do you think we might,
Give us it here, H. You've got too many manners. Couldn't have put it better myself. Oh, that's more like it. That's made my away day worthwhile.
Not a glimmer of surprise. Curious.
Well, not really. The Home Secretary isn't big on emotional outbursts.
But to be told that one's most private telephone number is in a murdered man's diary.
You'd have thought so. Simply said that how it came to be in the Little Red Book was a complete mystery.
And you're concerned?
To tell the truth, I am. If the response had been, I don't know, something like, "Oh, yes, knew him, how awful, oh, bugger it, now what do we do?" That would have been okay, but...
Of course, Tate may simply have lived a fantasy. If it were not for that...
Yeah, if it weren't for that blasted telephone number.
Did you ask if the name Norman Tate was familiar?
Of course. That's what bothers me. I was told that in the circumstances the conversation had gone far enough and nothing would be gained by prolonging it.
I see.
I'm afraid I do too.
You believe our Home Secretary tells porkies?
This one? No. Not even to the house. That's my point. Really squeaky. Look, Henry, I wouldn't mind you keeping an eye on this for me.
Officially?
Good God, no. I simply don't want any surprises.
Have you mentioned this to anyone else?
No.
Very wise.
And you didn't find anything of interest in his office?
No.
Good. Now, I must get back. Henry, I'm relying on you to keep it tight. You do understand, don't you?
And my Herod?
Your director? If this boils over, then I will cover you. And Alex, of course. You have my word.
Oh, dear. Is that all? Is that all?
When I used to come up with my father on this train, we always had kippers for breakfast. Always.
Well, only when coming up to London, never going down to Brighton. I wonder why.
And we always travelled first. Always.
There's comfort in habit.
Costly.
Tate, his purse seems to have been deep enough.
That's another assumption.
Arthur says he collected Hockneys.
When?
Good question. But as you so rightly insist, we'll leave that part of the investigation to the great knacker. Ours is but a watching brief.
Did he say what was on the discs?
They have yet to examine them. Apparently in the hands of the good Sergeant Jenkins.
And you didn't tell Tom about them?
Just as he didn't tell me, he told the Prime Minister.
Ah, but you knew he had.
And I knew he'd tell me he hadn't.
Frankly, Henry, the office will go into orbit when they find out we're getting involved.
Tom said he would look to our interests if there were rumblings in the corridors.
And you believe him?
No.
And let's hope Guscott gets it right.
He will. Whatever you may think, and I grant he is a little eccentric, Arthur George Guscott is a good policeman.
Hey! Jenkins! Jeb!
Sir?
Why is it taking so long?
DC Hickson, sir. He's gone home to get his wife's laptop.
We got more computers here than Essex University. What's up?
Apple Mac, sir.
What is?
The discs were made on a Mac. We've got PCs.
This is the end of the sodding century, Blodwin. That sort of thing doesn't matter anymore.
Sir, I'm sorry, but here it does. The modern computers are at Lewis.
And there's still no sign of Tate's computer.
No, sir.
His briefcase?
No, sir.
Driving licence, passport, credit card, spare trust? No, sir. Who's done that taxi driver?
DC Hickson was supposed to, sir, but as I say...
He went home to see if his wife could see her way to giving us a hand with the latest technology. Screw to a pound of Bramleys.
Shall I?
Oh, Jenkins, that's very kind of you. Go find out exactly where he dropped Tate at Gatwick, which bay. And when you've done that, nip down to the marina.
Well, I called them this morning. His boat's still there. Hasn't been out for a couple of weeks.
Then get your wellies and sou'wester on and turn it over.
I suppose it is an obvious place to hide things.
So obvious you haven't been down there yet.
Oh, sir, that's unfair. There's only the three of us on this. And, well, frankly, sir, I only got 4 hours sleep last night.
Blodwin, what you do in your private life is your own business. Now just get on down there, will you?
He looks rather innocent.
You should have seen it at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning. Somebody used Tate's face for target practice.
Why the face? It's not a very big target.
It doesn't matter with a 12-bore. The spread's big enough at close range. I reckon this was a pro. We didn't find any cartridge cases.
What did you find?
Nothing except the diary and the top of his head over there.
No idea how he got here.
He walked. Nowhere's more than 15 minutes from the beach. Anyway, I thought you'd just like to see where I work.
You're so kind.
Sorry there's no blood left for you to play with.
Time and tide washes away everything.
You're joking. 3 big coppers with plastic dustbins. It's all bagged, tagged and dated. I'm not going to get screwed on a technicality.
First you've got to catch him. Or her.
Oh, it's him all right. And I will. Anyway, we're late. I said we'd be there at 4.
Ah, yes. Tea with your all-seeing Miranda. By the by, Arthur, in which pocket did you find the diary?
I don't know. My sergeant found it. Don't make much difference, does it?
Does it?
Oh, yes, my dear. It most certainly does.
You take him straight to Gatwick?
Of course I did.
Drop the departures? Nowhere else?
Wasn't time for a tour of the old of flipping Sussex, was there? He was late as it was.
He say so?
Not him. But when I got there, he was next door in Randy Mandy's flat, saying his
Peel?
Mrs. Peel him off. That woman's done more turns than a screwdriver.
Well, what happened when he came down?
Well, jumps in the back and off we go, with him looking at his watch like a demented ref in extra time.
Luggage?
Nothing. If he owns this place in Spain, he don't need anything. Keeps his gear down there.
When you dropped him, you sure he went in?
Absolutely certain I saw him.
Saw him go in?
I saw him in there, didn't I? I was busting for a leak, so I nipped in myself. He was there, all right.
Did you see which airline?
Nah. In fact, what I reckon he was late for, he was talking to some bloke.
From the airport?
No way. Nah, this one looked like he was from the Inland Flipping Revenue. Short back and sides, sharp suit, shades.
I don't suppose you happened to hear what they were saying?
Lip reading's not so good when you're busting for one. Anyway, they were right over the other side.
OK. Well, thanks very much. Here, if you think of anything, call me on this number.
Sure. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Hey, just a minute. Well, it's probably nothing. But just before I nipped into the gents, I see Tate give this bloke a white envelope. Any use?
I knew he was dead, of course.
Mrs. Peel is an astrologer, you know.
Oh, really?
Astonishing.
It was you, on Saturday. You're not much of an actor, you know.
Really?
Really? You kept saying, was he and things, instead of, is he? We're not doolally, you know. Are we, darling?
A wonderfully perceptive creature.
Oh, Pinky won't like you calling him a creature. Very sensitive, aren't we? Yes, very sensitive.
The Shih Tzu is known for that very thing.
Oh, you know about Shih Tzus?
Mr. Colville has been associated with some of the biggest Shih Tzus of our time. Isn't that right, H?
Well,
Mrs. Peel, we understand you knew Mr. Tate personally as well as professionally.
He was in the next-door flat, so we couldn't help falling over each other, so to speak.
Did you know his friends?
I'd met some of them, but not really well. You see, our relationship didn't involve other people. Oh, dear, I don't think we've said that very well, have we, darling?
What about professionally?
Financial advisor.
Mr. Tate told Mrs. Peel where to put it.
Not that there was much, you know. Just a bit from my late husband.
You're a widow?
Not exactly. Bernard and I are victims of modern social pressures.
Divorce.
More tea?
Thank you.
No, not divorce. He's come out, as they say.
what exquisite cups.
Thank you. I do like good things, don't you?
Yes, and the late Mr. Tate helped to make them possible. How prudent.
Newest stuff, all right. I mean, not much in this country. None of this buy-in-May thing. Norman... It's strange to call him that when he's dead, isn't it?
Sorry, you were saying Norman...
Yes, well, he tucked a bit into an income bond, ready money, you know, and the rest was what he called overseas ventures.
Do you, by chance, have a list of these investments?
Oh, mostly futures and property. It's all in the bank, and not the NatWest either.
An investment bank?
Caymans.
Oh.
But don't get excited, darling. It's all above board. OK, as long as I don't want it here.
So what happens to it?
We've got our little apartment in Fort Lauderdale, and then we have a couple of nice cruises a year. And it's all paid for out of the banana fund, as Norman called it.
You see, Mrs. Peel, we went to his office in London yesterday morning, and there's nothing there. No records, nothing.
You don't think I knew where he kept his mattress?
I thought you might.
No, darling. But I wouldn't mind betting dear Norman didn't keep anything more than a feather duster in that place. He was a dealer, you know.
In other people's money?
Well, I'm not complaining. But everything's overseas. Why have bits of paper here where the old tax man can look them over?
You trusted him completely, Mrs. Peel?
Why not? Does it look as if I'm hanging on for the old age pension?
So what happens to your money now?
I've been thinking about that. I suppose his partner will carry on.
His partner?
Paulie. You know, Paulie Mason. Oh, my God. Look at your faces. You didn't know about Paulie, did you?
Would he be the same Paul who lives in Notting Hill?
That's him. Oh, you do know him.
We've heard of him. You got his number? Address?
No, but he's supposed to be in Mallorca at the moment at the villa with Norman.
They went together?
I don't know about that, but if Norman came back early, poor darling, then Paulie could have done.
When did you last see him?
Paulie? Oh, not for ages. 2, 3 years ago. Norman handled me, if you'll excuse the expression.
But is he still, or was still, Mr. Tate's partner?
Oh, yes. School together and all that. And, oh, well, you know, I said I saw him a couple of years ago. Well, that was his 40th. And Norman threw a huge bash for him down at the villa. Oh, lovely it was.
Yes, well, thank you very much, Mrs. Peel.
Oh, Pinky, a moment, will you, darling? Oh, go on. He won't bite. Not unless you scream.
No, I don't really think I'm...
I'm going to show you a picture.
Oh, God. Oh.
Here we are. It's all a bit dark, and you know how he can be. We were all a little bit tiddly-poo.
It's the sun, isn't it?
Relaxes you.
I can well believe it. Thank you.
Oh, there, darling. Did a nasty policeman frighten you?
Well, I never. Oi, H, have a look at that.
That's Paulie, in the middle. And that's Norman with his arm around him. Oh, but you knew that. And that's me. Oh, that dress. Well, you can get away with it out there, can't you?
I'm sure.
Of course you can. And the others all Norman's friends. Must have been 40 of us there, all paid for by Norman. Typical of Norman. No expense spared. Flew everyone in.
Interesting. Yes? I'm afraid so. Alex?
Thanks. Oof, well, the cap is certainly beginning to fit.
Lovely surprise, don't you think?
So generous. My dear Mrs. Peel, I wonder if you'd mind awfully if I kept this photograph for a day or so.
Now what do we do, H?
I suppose there's no doubt in any of our minds.
Coincidence? Look-alike? No, I suppose not. But let's keep this in perspective.
You can't get nicked for going to a party.
Exactly.
Even when the bloke gets murdered.
According to Mrs. Peel, at least 3 years later.
Equally, my dear, politicians are known for selective rather than clinical amnesia.
OK, H. I'll ask it again. You in this one or not?
I do believe so.
We don't have to be.
True, but then the Home Secretary had no need to tell Tom Margeson Porky's.
Porky singular. 3 years ago, when that picture was taken, no one had ever heard of... Oh, I don't know, this is silly.
Unfortunate, Mrs. S. But there is nothing silly about murder.
I'm not talking about that, Arthur. I'm talking about us getting involved. I think we should stick to the new rules. You should run with this, not us.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Come in, Blodwin. There's friends of mine from London. What have you got?
Tate met someone at Gatwick and gave him an envelope. Don't know who the mark was or what was in the envelope.
Taxi driver?
Yes, sir. Then I went down to the boat. She looks clean, but I can have her stripped if you want me to.
I want you to. Get it taped.
That's done, sir. And I'm trying to get somebody down there to keep watch, but we have managed
to... No buts, Blodwin. Get it done.
I was going to say, sir, but we've got the disc sorted.
And?
And so far it's just a load of formats for agreements and money transfer forms. But there is a short list of numbers. Each one's got 2 or 3 letters in front.
Including ML?
Yes, sir. Including ML.
Arthur, I wonder if you'd be so kind as to allow me to use your telephone.
Who else knows about this? And presumably everyone who's at the rotten party. What beats me, Henry, is how it's remained quiet for so long. Well, it could be. What about this list? Any idea what it is? OK. Look, how soon can you get back to town? Good. I think you and I need a private talk with our learned friend. 6 o'clock? See you then. I wonder.
So, there you are.
Even the Prime Minister has the courtesy to knock.
Probably frightened of finding you getting your leg over. But you and I know better, don't we, Tom?
You're an animal, Charlie, a sick animal. You ever have any nice thoughts in your head?
Oh, yes. But you wouldn't like them.
Why he trusts you, I don't know.
He trusts professionals, that's why. Anyway, listen, what's this about Flopsy?
I thought he'd tell you.
Of course he did. He doesn't even get his hair cut until I say so.
During a routine murder investigation by a senior officer in the Sussex Constabulary, the Home Secretary's blue number was found...
Cut the formality, Tom. Flopsy's private number was in some guy's diary when he got himself murdered, right?
Right.
You should have told me immediately.
It was up to the Prime Minister to tell you, and he did.
15 minutes ago. He's got the summit, that damned Iraqi thing in the UN, and now this devolution fiasco. That's just this week. Other things on other minds, Tom. That's my department.
You haven't lost anything.
If some grubby little Brighton stringer had found out and flogged it to the Mail, I'd have dropped you on the shit list of every select committee in the House. Understand?
And you understand this, Charlie. I am the Cabinet Secretary, not one of your lobby hacks grubbing for titbits.
Okay. Okay. Where have we got to?
I'm seeing the Home Secretary at 6 this evening. I shall explain what I know. It's informal. I shall, of course, make sure you know what happens, although I expect you'll know all about it before I'm back.
And don't you forget that, Tom. Old man.
Sussex by the sea.
I'm really sorry to keep you, gentlemen. The Home Secretary won't be long. It's a call that I'm afraid we're... Oh, that's it. Sir Thomas and Mr. Colvil are here, Home Secretary.
Tom, Mr. Colvil. I'm very sorry to have kept you waiting. Please, come in.
In episode 2 of Bad Apples, you heard Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, Amanda Redman as Alex Soames, and Dudley Sutton as Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Detective Sergeant Gwen Jenkins was played by Sue Jones-Davies, Miranda Peel by Sheila Reid, Tom Margerson by Tom Kotcher, Charlie Lofthouse by Alistair McGowan, and Maggie Lindley by Alfonsia Emanuel. Colvil and Soames is written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. Colvil and Soames by Christopher Lee. Bad Apples, Episode 3.
I must emphasize, Home Secretary, that I'm here in an unofficial capacity.
Tom?
Like Henry, I'm not here.
Let me get this straight. I have a visit from the Cabinet Secretary and someone from the Friends Meeting House, but I don't.
Perfectly put, if I may say so.
I'm not coming the heavy, Tom, but I think you and I have said everything there is to be said about this.
Henry?
Home Secretary, as you know, Norman Tate was murdered on Brighton Beach at about 2 a.m. on Saturday.
I've heard.
A particularly horrid, and the local police think professional, execution.
I have already said no. No, I don't know the man. OK, so he had my private telephone number.
Your secure line, to be precise.
Oh, you're always that, Tom.
Only 6 people have access to that number.
OK. I'm willing to buy a breach of security, but that's all.
Do you know how he came by that number?
I'd have thought you'd be telling me. That's your business, not mine.
You will excuse me, Home Secretary, but that doesn't answer my question.
No. No, I don't know. No, I have no idea. No, I don't know anyone who would have an idea.
There is a number of entries in Tate's diary alongside your initials. This suggests there were appointments.
Only to you, not to me. M and L are hardly exclusive.
In association with that particular number, utterly exclusive.
Just once, for your benefit, Mr. Colvil, I, Maggie Lindley, do solemnly swear that you, Henry Colvil, and you, Tom Margerson, are both out of your tree. I have never, to the best of my knowledge, either seen or heard of a man, boy, or Chinese restaurant called Norman Tate. OK?
Not entirely.
Mr. Colvil, are you calling me a liar? Well?
Never.
Fine. Nice of you to stop by.
I should tell you that the private office is taking an interest.
Who?
Charlie Lofthouse.
Who told him?
Presumably the Prime Minister.
Don't give me crap. You never presume, Tom. You know.
We have a photograph.
Don't be ridiculous.
In such matters, madam, I am never that. It was
This is silly. Here.
taken, we are told, at a party in a villa in Mallorca. That, Home Secretary, I believe, is you on the right.
Where did you get this?
With Norman Tate.
Which one is he?
Oh, Maggie, please, can we stop this?
A simple question. Which one is Tate?
As it has slipped your memory, Mrs. Lindley, the late Norman Tate is the dark-haired man with the gold bauble, the one in the middle.
Well, I never. So that's him.
Are you serious?
Damned right I am.
But you are there, in the photograph, drinking his wine.
And a hell of a lot of it, as far as I remember. Which isn't much.
We're trying the nice way, Maggie. You might remember that subtlety is not Charlie Lofthouse's long suit.
We'd rented a villa. It was just above his. The last evening we were there, he met us in the lane and said he was throwing a party. As we'd be sure to hear it, why didn't we come and make some of the noise?
But you must have known him.
Why? It was a week's rental. I didn't even know where we were. We flew. You know, that kind of holiday?
Mrs. Lindley, you keep saying we. Who was the other person?
My husband. Who else do you think I went on holiday with?
I see.
I don't. I knew Jack. He's not in that picture.
Of course he's not. He took it. Jack was the one with the camera. Is there anything else?
I seem to remember it was very sad indeed, just last summer.
Amazing. He was doing a charity parachute jump. Poor bastard simply fell 2,000 feet in a straight line.
No strange circumstances?
I hadn't thought of that.
Did anyone?
You could always check the accident report.
She is, of course, very plausible. A brief holiday, a neighbour's party, and that is that.
Doesn't alter the fact that Tate had a private number.
If he were simply her financial advisor, then why deny it?
Can you imagine what the media, even that dull lot in the so-called opposition, would do with this?
Would she survive?
I doubt it. After all, she's the Home Secretary and not some Mickey Mouse ministry like, don't know, culture.
Enemies at court?
Not really. A couple thought they should have had the job, but that's all. Equally, no one wants their business deal with some fund shuffler screwing things up.
A scandal with our fragrant Home Secretary would be unfortunate.
Dead simple. Rotten apples go. Keep the barrel clean. Those are the rules today.
The survival of the slickest.
Very good.
I regret it immediately.
No, you're right. Why not? They intend to govern whatever's left of Britain forever.
Idealists.
No. They simply look across at the other side of the house and say, oh no way, never again.
Then this is the moment when Alex and I stand aside. It is now political warfare, nothing to do with our part of ship.
Maybe it'll come to that, but not yet. The Prime Minister will be, as we say at Stamford Bridge, gutted. You get me, and therefore him, the true story.
Then simply save everyone time and perhaps anguish by telling himself that his Home Secretary will have to resign.
She's too confident.
But only a few moments ago she made a very silly slip. She'll do it again. The guilty always do.
Well, if she did, it slipped by me.
If her late husband took the photograph...
Yes?
Then how did I get it?
Oh, don't be daft, Henry. You got it off this Peel woman, Tate's neighbour.
Oh, yes. But how did she get it? If Maggie Lindley and her husband didn't know anyone there.
And she's certain. Did she say when? It could be. Next time you speak to her, it might be worth asking, okay? Bye now. Hi. You've just missed Brighton's finest.
Uh-huh. And what news from the front?
Well, Guscott says it was Tate who gave that photograph to Miranda Peel, but, like the thoughtful policeman he is, he didn't ask her when.
Sherry?
Please.
So, our Home Secretary, or her late husband, did have contact with Norman Tate.
Oh, thank you. Except there is one blindingly obvious explanation.
Cheers. Which is?
And you. Well, shall I?
Yes, please do.
Hello? Oh, that was quick. Okay, give me the number again. Okay, I'll go in the morning. Listen, Henry's just come in. Do you want a word? It's Guscott.
Arthur, dear heart. I was thinking tomorrow morning. A capital notion. 11:30 in the pavilion. Excellent. Bye. Back.
I take it you're off to Brighton.
Hove, actually.
Oh, naturally.
Yes, you must follow me down.
With the baggage.
Arthur says you volunteered to call on...
Paul Mason, Tate's partner. There's nothing from Mallorca, so he may still be at his London flat.
This Mason... Surely he'd have heard something by now.
Why? As far as we know, he thinks Tate's in Mallorca.
Guscott says drugs.
The police always say drugs, especially in Brighton.
Tom Margeson thinks the answer to this lies in Brighton.
How can he possibly say that? Unless, of course, he knows more than he's told you.
Likely, but Tate did live in Brighton. He did die in Brighton. He did have an appointment with his killer in Brighton.
And guess where we're off to with our buckets and spades for a day trip?
We may be putting up for a few days. You will need to pack.
You don't look a bit like a smith.
The Colvilles never did. But I seem to think many of them went to Brighton.
Maybe Maggie Lindley continues the tradition. Maybe there's more in Tate's diary than her telephone number.
You must look.
Really?
Oh, yes. But we must not lose sight of the real conundrum. To have her telephone number is interesting. To have her secure number is puzzling.
Who else has it?
Well, the POS, her private secretary, the duty officer at Box 500. The cabinet secretary would have access if he needed it.
Any one of whom could have married Caesar.
Which is why we press on. Like Pompeo, Home Secretaries must be above suspicion.
Especially if one happens to be a woman.
But first and foremost, Home Secretary.
I doubt it. Who said we voted for a president, not a pope?
I think I rather object to a cabinet minister hiding behind frailty.
So you've decided she is lying. That makes it even more dangerous for us, especially when you tell me Charlie Lofthouse has his spiteful little mind focused.
A close friend?
He makes Talleyrand look like Cliff Richard.
I'm rather pleased we should be in Brighton. Internecine politicking is more Tom's pigeon.
Don't ignore him, Henry. Charlie Lofthouse takes himself very, very seriously.
I can handle this. Stay out of it, Charlie.
He doesn't pay me to stay out. Anyway, I don't think you can. He never could.
You stick to playing with journos, and I'll sort out my own department.
If this blows, Maggie, you'll be zilch in one day.
Oh, that doesn't bother you one bit.
Oh, it does. Putting you through the wash doesn't make us clean.
Well, I've told you, there's no danger.
That's not what Tom Margeson thinks.
Tom's covering his back. And as for this Colville guy, well, he's a joke.
Who?
Colville. Oh, you mean to tell me the great Charlie Lofthouse didn't know? I like it.
Who the hell or what is Colville?
Don't get your Calvins twisted. He's just some old buffer from security. Group 4, in a bowler hat.
And what did he say?
Told you nothing. It's nothing. It was the telephone number, but that was changed immediately, so crisis over.
Margeson didn't tell me about him.
Well, go throw your toys at Tom, not me.
If this goes pear-shaped, I'll screw you myself.
You tried that before, Charlie. Didn't work then. Remember?
You sure you don't want me to wait?
No, otherwise you miss your train. Next left, please.
He may not be in.
His answer machine said back soon. I can wait. Anyway, I'll chat up his neighbours.
Double glazing?
Country cousin calling on the off chance. Always works.
What a grubby pastime this is. He's just here, isn't it?
If you can drop me on the corner, that'll be fine. By the postbox will do, thank you. OK, I'll see you at the old ship this evening. Say about...
My godfather, James. But there. They're coming out of that house.
What the hell is she doing here?
Oh, well played.
Why didn't you front up to her, H? That's what she needs. Bit of oi, what's your game, darling?
Ah, if only you'd been there, Arthur. You would have been magnificent.
This is not some local scrubber on the bluff. This is our holier-than-thou Home Secretary, woman of the people and all that, what's it?
Yes, but we didn't know why she was there. Don't forget it was only last night that you gave Alex Paul Mason's address.
Didn't it ring bells? I thought you was in that business.
I think I may have had a vague idea that she didn't live in Islington, but nothing more.
Listen, H, if she's Mason's neighbour...
4 doors along.
Close enough for a cup of sugar. She's got to be lying. There she is in the photo. There's Mason with Tate's arm around him.
No, London isn't like that, Arthur. They could be total strangers. You of all people should know that.
I do, but I don't believe her.
Nor do I. But that's what she would say.
So when's the boot going in?
Mrs. Soames has the matter in hand.
Frankly, H, I got your bint down for flower arranging, not giving the Home Secretary a good fanging.
Subtlety, Arthur. Subtlety, please.
Subtlety? I've got Norman Tate minus most of his face in the morgue. I got a sergeant who's dripping with brains but no nous. I got a DC as dim as a Tock-Age lamp and a governor screaming for a result. We spent 3 days being subtle, H. At this rate, we got as much chance of a result as Sussex winning the championship. Papa!
Oh, dear.
That's what you get for subtle.
What's his real interest in this?
Charlie Lofthouse interests himself in everything. After the Prime Minister and the Chancellor, he's the most powerful of the lot.
Because he controls the media? They'll turn on him.
If he slips. But most of the hacks are pathetic creatures. Well, they all look and sound important, but they're not. They all come into number 10 at 11 o'clock every morning. Down to the basement they go, Charlie tells them what to say, and they go away and say it. Amazing.
Until one of them gets up and says, "How come you've covered up the Home Secretary's involvement in a murder?"
And now it turns out that she's a neighbour of his partner.
Does he know?
Charlie gives the impression of knowing the exact time and date of the second coming. Everything is geared to getting the PM re-elected. Charlie has one agenda. He bats for the Prime Minister.
And for Charlie.
He doesn't need it. He's there. My God, when he comes to write his Downing Street memoir...
Don't.
Chapter on Diana's death will be worth 10 million alone.
Doesn't this make Maggie Lindley's small beer?
Not at all. Charlie's a control freak. People who are good at it never loosen their grip.
But he's there to defend her, not to destroy her.
There's something about those two which I don't understand. It's a strange chemistry.
Romantically?
Just the opposite. When she's around, he's always tense.
Past imperfect?
I don't know. I suppose someone does.
Henry wants me to talk to her.
She won't agree to that.
When's her next reception or drinks party or whatever it is Home Secretaries go to?
Not certain. Almost every evening. I look when I go back. Why?
Get me in.
You can't simply go up to her, a complete stranger, and, well, chat her up.
Why not, Tom? After all, that's how you met me.
You see, H, no one's saying anything about this. Lots of stum on the streets.
People don't know or don't say.
Don't say. Now, Blodwin...
Your sergeant.
So she tells me. Blodwin reckons there's some of the broad-minded cab drivers suddenly doing day shifts.
Drugs?
Bit of mewling.
I had no idea Brighton was so organised. Oh, well hit.
More money changes hands in this town on Saturday night than Epsom on a warm bank holiday.
This governor of yours?
Evans. Detective Superintendent Evans.
Another one?
They're everywhere, H. Everywhere.
You mentioned he thought he knew Tate.
He tells me Tate was a bit of a mover.
Political?
Sock dropper.
A local watch?
The governor is what he calls circumspect, but yes.
So, friends in high, if local, places.
Didn't do him much good.
I wonder if it did him harm. Oh, dear. Still, not a bad knock.
Talking of which, guess who's just gone into the bar? Come on, we'll have one on the Queen. Oh, well, there's a sight for sores.
Oh, hello, dear. And you too, Mr. Coleman.
Colvil, actually.
Oh, just like home.
You, with someone then, Mrs. Peel?
Me? Oh, no. I'm a member. Have been for years. Seen them all, I have. Oh, yes, darling. I go back to Imworm's days. Lovely action, you know.
Yeah, well, I can only take your word for that.
One Bloody Mary, no ice.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Oh, that's nice of you. No need, you know.
I bet there is. And a bottle of cold Guinness and a large G&T.
We having a day off, then?
Sadly, no.
Never sleeps.
Really? How interesting.
$6.65, please.
How much?
$6.65.
Growth.
Thank you. Who's next? Yes?
Blooming brandies, we just bought a brewery, H. Anyway, here's to absent friends. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Oh. No news, then?
A little.
Goes a long way.
Tell me, when did you get that photograph?
Oh, the one at Paulie's party. Shortly after we came back. Norman knocked one day and popped it in.
Did he now?
Apart from Mr. Tate and Mr. Mason, did you know any of the other people in the photograph?
Not really, darling. One or two used to come to the flat. Norman, that is.
Names?
Well, I think most of them were clients. I mean, they were a bit like me. They didn't know anyone but Paulie or Norman.
But you knew both gentlemen.
Wouldn't call Paulie a gentleman.
We'd rather hope to speak to him.
Told you before, he's in Mallorca. The villa.
We tried, no answer. How long they had that villa?
Who, darling?
Norman Tate and this Mason bloke.
Oh, they don't share. Paulie's got his own. Wonderful place. Master bedroom goes straight out to the pool. Fabulous, I can tell you.
But it is in Mallorca.
Of course it is, darling. Right above Norman's.
This woman isn't a fool, Alex. Far from it. So don't think you can simply blag your way.
Blag?
You should watch more television. Don't think you can confront her and get away with it.
That's been the problem. You and Henry have forced the pace.
Oh, a woman's touch. Oh, yes.
No, common sense. She's either completely clean or whatever the pressure is greater than the guilt by association thing you're trying to sell her.
We're dealing with a politician. Only the best are bright and intelligent. She's not one of the best.
Which is she?
Bright. Offer her the main chance, not the reasonable one. It's the Titanic principle. Last run the lifeboat's a city. She's no sissy.
If your hypothesis had worked so far...
Here we go. Loft House is cornered her.
Bummer.
Not at all. She'll be glad to get away. Come on, follow me in.
Times will have a nice piece in the morning.
Oh, I thought he was anti.
You thought wrong.
You mean another triumph for Charlie Lofthouse?
Certainly not. A triumph for simple explanation.
So they see it your way?
No, Maggie, your way. I'm just the messenger.
Historically not the safest of trades.
Neither of us is in that. Especially you, and especially now.
Charlie! Just the man. I have something which I think you should hear now.
Now?
Would you excuse us, Home Secretary? You can have him back in 5 minutes.
Don't bother.
Hi, you're Maggie Lindley, aren't you?
Oh, word gets around.
Alex Soames.
Are you CPS?
Afraid not.
Oh, my God, don't tell me. You work for me. I'm sorry. A week may be a long time, but a month is no time at all. I'm still matching faces.
Actually, I don't work for you, but I believe you met a colleague of mine last night, Henry Colvil.
Good night, Miss Soames. The door is behind you.
Paul Mason.
What?
Everybody needs neighbours, Mrs. Lindley.
Go on.
You're about to be dropped into deep water. It's in everyone's interest that you float.
You don't sound like a lifeboat coxswain.
There's no need to be the last one in. We need to meet, and soon.
11:30 past your bedtime?
Not yet.
Good. My house. You obviously know where it is.
Well, so what? London's a small place.
Okay, thought you should know, that's all.
You've talked to him?
No, he's away. We think Mallorca.
Where'd this come from?
A friend.
You mean personal or across the river?
As it happens, both.
I see. I hear there's a guy called Colvil on your books.
You've got good hearing, Charlie.
What's their interest?
Colville's doing me a personal favour. For the moment, he's just a tourist.
You trust him?
I do. You wouldn't.
Maybe you should fix a meeting. Tonight.
He's in Brighton.
And get him back.
Charlie, understand this. Colville's not one of your lobby hacks. Lean on him and he'll hand this over to his office. Neither of us needs that.
I don't like loose ends.
Colville's mine. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. But don't complicate things. Leave me to talk to her.
Talk. Or fix.
Maybe it's a blue bottle. bags of noise, but still only a fly.
Right. Well, anyway, as I said, simply wanted to keep you in the loop.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. But let's keep the loop as tight as possible.
That would make it a noose.
Yes, wouldn't it?
Taxi? Blasted thing. Oh, come on. Taxi!
Alex?
Oh, hello. You got any influence around here?
Only with the Prime Minister.
Can you drive a cab?
Let's walk along to the end. You can usually get one in Pall Mall. So, I assume you were right and I was wrong.
I'm seeing her later tonight.
Good. You've spoken to Henry. He was trying to get you.
No, what about?
Tate's neighbour.
Miranda Peel.
Right. She says Mason has his own villa in Mallorca.
So?
It's above Tate's.
The one Maggie Linley stayed in? I don't believe it.
Henry says try it on her.
This is getting tricky.
Oh, and there's something else. Loft House.
Hang on. Taxi! Taxi! Brilliant. What about him?
Well, I've just told him about Mason being Maggie's neighbour.
What's he say?
Well, unimpressed. Got to live somewhere sort of thing.
Maybe he's right. Old Church Street, please.
Yeah, but maybe he's lying. Loft House is a leopard. When he's laid back, it means he's just eaten or he's about to pounce.
Ooh, very deep. Which one this time?
The latter, I think. Be careful.
Of him or you? Thanks very much, Tom. You're a great comfort.
You know, H, you know what I can't understand about our darling Miranda Peel is why she's not frightened.
She displayed the qualities of a boarding house thespian.
I mean, if you was on your top...
Don't forget the Shih Tzu.
That wouldn't even make a good pyjama case. If you was on your Todd, and a bloke next door, a very close friend, by the way, gets wasted, wouldn't you just be weeing yourself every time the doorbell rang?
Consider, Arthur, just for one moment, that Mrs. Peel might be something entirely different. Less, shall we say, two-dimensional.
Listen, H, every seafront block on this coast has got a Miranda Peel on every balcony. They're all scraggy from too much sun and too much gin.
That is two-dimensional.
But that's exactly what she is. What you see is all you get.
I'm convinced...
And I'm convinced, H, that if we ever pull someone for this, it's going to be facts and not psycho trash that gets the conviction.
All right, then answer me this. Apart from the cabbie and the anonymous man at the airport, the last person we know who talked to Tate before he was murdered was...
Miranda Peel.
But we don't know what they talked about.
According to her, they didn't waste time talking.
Perhaps, Arthur, she'd like us to think that.
So you're now saying she's frightened?
No, I'm saying what if? What if what she's hiding doesn't frighten her?
Because she's thick? I don't think so. Big, but not thick.
Suppose Mrs. Peel knows why Tate was murdered.
But we come back to my point, H. If she did, she'd be scared out of her tiny.
Not, my dear Arthur, if she had something to do with it.
You heard Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colville, Amanda Redman as Alex Soames, and Dudley Sutton as Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Tom Margeson was played by Tom Cotcher, Charlie Lofthouse by Alistair McGowan, Miranda Peel by Sheila Reid, and Maggie Linley by Alfonsia Emanuel. Colvil and Soames is written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. Colvil and Soames by Christopher Lee. Bad Apples, Episode 4.
I hope you don't mind the kitchen. Oh, apart from the loo, it's the only private place in this whole damned house.
Your protection is very thorough.
Last night? Sorry about that.
Oh, don't be. I thought it might be embarrassing showing them my ID, that's all.
Thanks for that, anyway. Coffee?
Please.
This Colville guy. He's real?
Very professional.
There you are.
Thanks.
Whose side is he on?
Oh, Henry's not like that. He's a dear. He's a bit of the old school worth hanging on to.
Okay. So he's a sweetie. But he's got an angle everyone has. I mean, he says this isn't official, so what's in it for him?
And me.
Well, everyone wants something.
Is that what this thing with Mason and Tate's about?
Do I trust you?
There's no hidden agenda, or whatever the phrase is.
Well, you discovered Paul Mason.
We weren't exactly snooping around the dustbins. He was Tate's partner.
But you made the connection.
Actually, Mrs. Lindley, you did it for me. I was on my way to talk to him, strictly routine, and I saw you coming out of here. Honestly, I didn't even know where you lived.
That's no secret anyway, I suppose. So, now what?
About Mr. Mason.
He's my financial advisor.
What sort of advice?
Sort of things you read in the Sunday papers. PEPs, building societies, couple of bonds, usual stuff.
Overseas investments. Mrs. Lindley, this conversation's private, but I need answers, otherwise someone will make it public.
Oh, is that a threat?
Whether or not you like to think so, you are tied to Norman Tate's murder. You're a public figure, it's not a slip knot. We find a photograph, you partying at his villa.
My husband was there.
So was Paul Mason, who just happens to be your neighbour, your financial guru, his partner.
All coincidence.
And at the beginning of all this, you denied any connection.
At that point, I didn't know there was one.
Didn't it dawn on you that Tom Margerson wouldn't just pile in? Cabinet secretaries don't do that.
Did you have a good week, Mrs. Soames? Busy?
May we stick to the point?
When Margerson came to see me at the weekend, I was zonked. Wait a minute. Let me tell you about last week. Just an ordinary
week.
There's
no need.
Oh, yes, there is. I had a ministerial in Brussels that went on until 2:30 in the morning. I was on the Today programme at 7, explaining why. I got back to London and went straight into a select committee meeting, badly briefed and set up. That afternoon, I was top for questions in the House. Then there was a cabinet committee at 4, a reception for some Chief Justice from God only knows where in the evening, a vote at 10, and boxes until 2. The next morning was cabinet, and then off to Strasbourg. My father has cancer, and I didn't get to see him as I promised. Then Tom turns up just as I'm going off to the hospital. I can give my father 10 minutes, Mrs. Soames. 10 minutes.
I see.
Really? A vague meeting 2-3 years back wasn't really scratching the front of my brain. Of course I told him I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't.
What,
God, this is foul.
What about the telephone number in Tate's diary?
Paul must have given it to him.
So you had given it to
Right. Paul. It's obvious, isn't it? Paul asked me for a private line. It was the only one I knew.
But you're the Home Secretary.
I'm at my desk by 8 at the latest. I never get to bed until 2 or 3. The weekend doesn't exist.
So you gave Mason your office number?
I gave him the most private line. Because, well, frankly, it's probably the best use for it. The Russians are not coming. And if they change their minds, the private office will tell me.
Why would Mason give it to Tate?
Showing off.
And you trust him with your money?
I trust him with his success.
How do we know you didn't give it to Tate?
I didn't know him.
What about the initials in his appointments diary? They're yours.
There were no meetings. I mean, for God's sake, all you have to do is look at my diary or check the protection team. They, as you notice, never leave.
I need your permission.
Okay. But you try to lay on me and I'll blow your department apart. You'll go down with it.
Pum, 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 pum. Oh, splendid.
Morning, H. Had a winner, then?
Oh, and a good morning to you. What a splendid way to begin the day. Ah, invigorating.
You were Navy, weren't you?
Unsuccessfully.
Hard to believe.
Mal de mer.
Had your own bucket?
The ships were too small. I was fine in cruisers.
I can imagine that.
Cruisers had Chinese laundrymen.
A great comfort, I'm sure.
Indeed. The laundry is so essential to a busy life.
You won't, I hope, mention this to Mrs. Guscott.
Dear heart. I wondered if that very subject was something that had crossed your mind or that of your pretty little sergeant.
Blodwin? Nothing crosses her mind unless it's got a 34 inside leg.
Did anyone notice a laundry mark on Norman Tate's shirt?
Not that I know.
Pum, 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 pum.
Important?
Pum, pum, pum.
I'll have a word if it'll stop you singing.
I'm obliged. Now, a short constitutional, then some coffee.
Heard anything from Mrs. S?
No, but we shall. We shall.
Well, satisfied?
Thank you. You were, of course, right. They don't match the times and dates in his.
And the protection confirms I was where my diary says I was.
Yep.
That it, then?
We still don't know why your initials were in his diary.
Well, that's your job. Now, I've a cabinet in 15 minutes.
Please, I don't want to antagonize you anymore, but 2 questions.
Quick ones.
Paul Mason's your financial advisor.
So?
Do you mind telling me the level of investments?
Damned right I do. That is strictly private, and I promise you, trespassers will, I repeat, will be prosecuted.
All right. But, I have to ask, is he just your financial advisor?
What?
Anything else?
Don't push it.
I'm sorry, but someone has to ask. I think it would better it's me.
Paul Mason? My God, wait until you meet him.
Someone said he has a high opinion of himself.
Not with women.
Are you sure?
I read a magazine when I was 12. I'm sure. Second question.
Who gave Tate the picture your husband took at the villa? Mason?
You're not as bright as you sound. No one gave it to him. Jack just took the picture. It was Tate's camera, not his.
Oh, of course. Obvious, really.
To anyone with real intelligence, yes. Good morning, Mrs. Soames.
Thank you, Mrs. Lindley.
Well, what do you think?
I think she's not stupid, Charlie. Far from it.
As long as she's not lucky, I don't care what she is.
Surely by now we should have some idea why he was murdered.
I told you my governor says drugs.
A common explanation.
These days is usually right. Except in this case, we know that Tate wasn't into that stuff.
But the money might have been. What simpler method of getting rid of money than to add it to sums invested for perfectly legitimate reasons?
Wouldn't work.
Why not?
Punters. They'd suss it as soon as they got their statements.
Why?
Because, say that tart in the next flat to him puts in 10 grand, and her annual billy-do shows 50, she... Maybe you're right. She's going to clap both hands and feet, isn't she?
A simple line showing a percentage of the profit reinvested will surely delight such a lady rather than alarm her.
Miranda Peel, maybe, but Maggie Linley's going to read the small print, or her accountants will.
Selective investment.
Linley gives the books a bit of class.
Perhaps Arthur.
Another visit to darling Miranda. You're right. Come on, H. Oh, let's hope that lift's working.
Cheers, love.
Cheers, love.
Sure you won't have one, darling?
Oh, most kind, dear lady, most kind, but no.
We always has a little drinky poos once the sun's warmed its bum, as my second Peel used to say. Don't we, darling?
That dog drinking gin.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. A little Pimm's, that's all. Oh, I love the balcony, don't you? I feel like the Queen.
Had a couple of husbands, have we then, Mrs. Peel?
3 of my own.
Marriage such a fragile state.
Fragile, all right. First one fell off his horse.
Hunting?
No, 2:30 at Lingfield. Third one went off with his barber. Now there was a shock. Him being a banker and not knowing how to spell.
What about number 2?
Now that was sad. Standing right where you are, Mr. Guscott. Fell over the top.
How come? This must be 3'6" at least. Had a couple, had he?
Hay fever. Big sneeze. Out went his top set and him after them. Terrible it was.
I can imagine.
Still, mustn't grumble. Nice memories.
Left you a bit, did they?
Maybe. Why?
You see, Mrs. Peel, we're trying to assess the scale of the portfolios handled by Mr. Tate. As nothing was invested in this country, that is proving somewhat difficult.
Think he was on the fiddle, do you?
Were you ever, shall we say, surprised at the size of the capital growth?
At my age.
Enough to pay the bills with a bit on top.
Something like that.
How many portfolios do you have with Mr. Tate?
Just the one?
You're certain?
Of course. It's just cruising money, darling. Couple of months a year, I'm up with the big spenders. Rest of the time, well, just look. God's waiting room with sea view.
I see.
Sure you won't have one?
No, my dear, you're most generous. We must, I fear, be on our way.
Yeah. Thanks for the drink.
Oh, I was going to call you anyway. That picture.
Didn't my sergeant bring it back?
Oh, yes. I was looking at it again, though. Coincidence. You know who was in it, don't you?
We think so.
That woman. You know, the new Home Secretary. The coincidence of her being down here.
In Brighton?
Who, actually?
When, actually, Mrs. Peel? When was she in Brighton?
On that radio programme. Any questions? They had it at the town hall. I had a ticket.
Do you remember when this programme was on the wireless?
Oh, the wireless? You're as bad as my second Peel. He always...
Mrs. Peel, please. When?
The Friday. The Friday night. The night before poor Norman was done. I thought you'd have known that, darling.
How come Mrs. S. didn't spot it?
Wasn't looking. She was matching the appointments in Tate's diary.
Bad miss, H. Bad miss. Of course, we don't know they didn't meet.
Equally.
Well, what was all that stuff about portfolios?
I'm wondering if Tate opened second and even third portfolios in his clients' names without their knowing.
Using bent dosh and creamed off the winnings.
Complicated, but not impossible.
And if he makes it complicated enough, he could be screwing the rest of the syndicate.
You think it is a syndicate?
If it's laundering, it's always a syndicate. No one can do it by themselves. Too many scrubbing brushes involved.
It could explain his murder.
It's been done for less. I wonder if she knew what was going on.
Mrs. Peel? Shouldn't think so.
No, Home Secretary.
I cannot believe that.
Quite right, H. Quite right.
Really? Yeah. Would you happen, Arthur, to know the time of the next train to town?
Got a minute?
Sorry, I've got magistrates and JPs in half an hour. I must get back.
Come in here, it'll have to wait.
Listen, Charlie.
You listen. He wants this stopped now. He wants us both in there in 10 minutes.
Why? What's happened? What's he want?
Sit down and listen. This thing's about to go pear-shaped.
Absolute nonsense.
I said listen. Something's about to happen that will blow this wide open.
What? How do you know?
I can't tell you, but it will. He's going to put a proposition to you. You'd better buy it.
Well, why can't he tell me himself?
He will. I'm briefing you.
I make up my own mind.
Unless you're seriously contemplating a full-time career in shelf stacking, just do what I say, what he says.
I'm listening.
You and I know what Paul was doing for you.
Did.
It's finished?
He's working on it. It will be.
He's not, and it won't be.
I can assure you, Charlie, that there is no
Maggie,
way...
as of this moment, you could not assure Michael Fish that it rains in Manchester.
Oh, very clever, Charlie.
I get better. When we go in there... When we go in there, you're going to tell him everything, but everything.
And then?
And then, my darling, you're going to resign.
You're out of your tree.
You're going to run for London.
I'm going to what?
Mayor. Funny thing, you might even get the job. But we'll come to that bit when we have to.
And if I say no?
No ifs in this house, sweetie. You tell all and go.
Then let me tell you something, Charlie Loftus.
Don't you dare.
Comes back, doesn't it? If I tell him everything, then you go too. So you get in there and tell him there's a new script.
What time are you seeing her?
3.
Wonder why she agreed.
I imagine she wants to know how much I know, which, I'm afraid, Tom, is less and less about more and more.
We know she's lied,
but we don't know why. Alex says a hard week at the office.
She can plead innocence for all she's worth, but her initials and appointments are in Tate's diary. Fact.
A convenient fact.
She now admits, only now admits, that Tate's partner was a financial advisor, but she'd forgotten that she'd met Tate.
And her visit to Brighton?
Hove, actually.
I'm obliged.
The private office says she arrived just 15 minutes before the programme started and that she came straight back.
So no time to meet anyone.
You mean Tate?
Do I? I'll leave you here. I must not keep Our Lady waiting.
You'll let me know immediately.
What she says? Of course, Tom, of course.
PM wants an update, which means Lofthouse has told him he does.
Is that a bad thing?
Charlie Lofthouse is a very bad thing. Personally, I think he's burning out.
Perhaps he compensates in some private manner.
Oh, no. This guy hasn't touched even so much as a cup of coffee for 10 years.
Oh, dear. So poor Mr. Lofthouse has only clean living on which to fall back. Such a prickly landing.
Something else, Henry. He's keeping this one to himself.
The spinnery excluded. Then a command performance, or perhaps a personal crusade. Mrs. Lindley?
Curious, isn't it? She's not a political threat, and yet she nettles him. She can say the most innocuous thing, and he has to have a go.
Were they lovers?
Where'd this come from?
You don't think they were?
Good God, no. Genetically unlikely.
Him or her?
Him. She, remember, was happily married.
Does Lofthouse have any particular friends?
You won't see him carrying banners for outrage, if that's what you're getting at.
Perhaps a more discreet arrangement. It is not uncommon in government.
I don't think so. You people know more than I do. I'm only the cabinet secretary.
A dreadful burden, Tom, an awesome responsibility.
Very funny. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to tell the Prime Minister.
Perhaps she should.
Let me tell you something. Strictly between you and me. The PM was going to see her after Cabinet this morning, then didn't.
Do you know why? Why he didn't, that is?
Lofthouse talked to her just before they were due to go in. I don't know what was said, but the next thing, Lofthouse is in there by himself, and she's off.
Which suggests Mrs. Lindley has much more up her elegant sleeve than we, and certainly Mr. Lofthouse, imagined.
Could be this fellow Mason, could it?
She may think so, but I suspect not.
Why?
We shall see.
It's odd no one's talked to him yet. Has Gus got any good?
First class.
I'd have thought he'd have found him by now.
I'm not sure he hasn't.
What?
We shall speak. Bye now.
Your friend Mrs. Soames says you're old school.
I'm old enough not to have had a choice.
And you have an agenda?
Oh, yes, but not of my making.
You just follow orders?
Instincts.
Like today?
Why didn't you say you were in Hove the night before the murder?
Hardly a secret. I was doing Jonathan Dimbleby's show.
Yes, but the natural reaction would have been to say so.
Well, not if you've had a lousy week, made the wrong response and then instinctively run with it.
You make an enticing pudding, Mrs. Lindley, but something's missing.
When will you believe I know nothing about Tate?
Oh, Mr. Tate. Mr. Tate no longer interests me. Tell me about Mr. Mason. When did you first meet?
Please.
Eventually I'll know.
Very well. Oxford. You know how it is?
No, but I'm told. You kept in touch?
We ran across each other occasionally.
Mutual friends?
I suppose so.
One supposes Charlie Lofthouse.
So, you're not exactly Group 4 in Ebola.
I'm snob enough to have my own copy of Who's Who, nothing cleverer than that. I confess I knew about you and Mr. Lofthouse, but not Mason.
Charlie and I were friends. Paul? Well, I suppose he was on the fringe somewhere.
It would help if you will tell me the extent of your financial involvement in Tate and Mason. And I promise you, this will be in strict confidence.
A few years ago, long before we got in, I needed money.
Your husband had none?
This is strictly confidential.
Mm-hmm.
I needed money Jack wouldn't know about.
Blackmail?
I have a son. Not Jack's. A long time ago, and... well, let's say he's needed care since he was born.
I'm sorry.
You know, Mr. Colville, I think you mean that.
In such sad circumstances, is there anything else I should mean?
Well, as you say, you have age on your side.
Is,
James.
Is James... is he in private care?
Very. Not even in this country.
Ah, of course. Investments abroad.
Exactly. Tate and Mason are based overseas. None of the investment is here. Now, I used the interest on my original money to look after James.
With Mason the conduit?
Right.
I take it that the investment continues.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not a director of anything. But if anyone should find out, well, then they could find out about James. It's an easier story than the reform of the prison system.
When did you last see Mason?
Friday.
In Hove?
Hove? No, London. I was coming out of my house and he was just leaving his.
What time was this?
7:15.
I was under the impression that he was in Mallorca on Friday. Did you speak?
Oh, not really. He said he needed to talk about something, but I was already late and he said he'd call.
And did he?
Yes, but I wasn't there. He left a message on the machine.
Friday evening?
No, Saturday morning.
Paul Mason called you on Saturday morning? You're certain?
No, absolutely. Well, I was furious. He called the secure number. If it hadn't have been a Saturday morning, my PPS would have heard it.
You are sure about the timing? Mason called you on Saturday morning.
That's what I said. Is it that important?
Yes, my dear lady. Very important. Tom, Henry. Just returned. Can you put off your brief to the Prime Minister until later tonight or even the morning? Yes, I understand, but that would be my advice. Imminent developments, it usually works. I promised to have something for you by, just a moment. What time will the train get us to Brighton?
Rail track, etc. permitting, 7 o'clock.
Tom? Sorry, we'll talk by 8. Where will you be? Right, the Travellers at 8. Don't go, a small request. Would it be difficult for you to get a copy of Lofthouse's PV? I understand, but if you can... Excellent. See if there's any mention of Paul Mason. Yes, Mason. It turns out they were at Oxford together with... guess who? No, not him. At least I never thought of that.
We'll miss the train.
No, Mrs. Lindley. Fine. Must rush. Talk later. Bye.
Sorry, but at this time of night.
He thought Tate was at Oxford with Lofthouse.
Can we go?
Oh, come on, then. Mustn't keep the railways waiting.
I'm coming. What's this about Lofthouse and Mason?
I'll tell you on the train, my dear.
If you're right, this whole thing's upside down.
And if I'm wrong, then it's time that we withdrew with grace.
Well, I think we should have done that ages ago.
We're too late.
I told you on the train, once Charlie Lofthouse knows you've made the connection, then the fangs will be dripping blood. Yours.
You think so?
I know so.
The public reaction will be, I suppose, one of anger.
Anger? Worse than that.
Really?
Seriously, really. Glee. And don't forget all those Stepford housewives on his back benches. There'll be 2 fingers raised and burning their pages.
One is so naive in these matters.
Rubbish, Henry. You know exactly what you've uncovered. The Hornets will be out there screaming, "Me first, me first!"
Boy, H, what have we got then?
Ah, Arthur, so good of you. The motor car?
Outside. Where's the fire?
You remember I asked if you'd checked the laundry marks on the body, did you?
Norman Tate's shirt. Give over, haven't had a chance. Why?
Don't ask me, Arthur. This is getting unreal.
I think we'd best make another visit to Mr. Tate's flat. More precisely, his wardrobe and shirt drawer. Come on, come on!
Blooming Bramley. Give this lot to Oxfam, you'd clothe half the third world.
Halls and Curtis, my own shirt maker.
It makes sense. Right next door to his office.
I suspect taste rather than convenience, my dear.
There's enough of them. What will one of these set you back, H?
60, perhaps.
Each?
You think you'd have chosen more than one colour, wouldn't you, at that price?
He didn't strike me as a blue shirts and blue ties man.
Precisely. And, Arthur, what strikes you about these?
Blue suits and more blue suits.
From Mr. Gives and Mr. Hawkes.
Not a whiff of Armani.
And black, very shiny shoes.
Lobs.
What the hell's this? What's going on?
Police. Who are you, and how'd you get in here?
What do you mean, how did I get in here? I live here.
Oh, yes? In
Arthur,
that case,
just a moment.
inform you.
You are, sir.
What do you mean, who am I? It's not me.
No,
that
please,
should
sir,
be-
please, I repeat. You are, sir?
My name is Tate. Norman Tate. Who the hell are you?
You heard Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colville, Amanda Redman as Alex Soames, and Dudley Sutton as Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Maggie Lindley was played by Alfonsia Emanuel, Tom Margeson by Tom Cotcher, Charlie Lofthouse by Alistair McGowan, Miranda Peale by Sheila Reid, and Norman Tate by Brian Bowles. Colvil and Soames is written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. Colvil and Soames by Christopher Lee. Bad Apples, Episode 5.
Will someone tell me what the hell's going on?
You are Norman Tate, senior partner in Tate and Mason, financial advisors?
Of course I am.
Detective Chief Inspector Guscott, Sussex CID, and, Struth.
Colville, and this is Mrs. Soames. We are colleagues of the Chief Inspector.
Sit down. Sit down, Mr. Tate.
Don't tell me to sit down in my own apartment. Here, what are you doing with my clothes?
Not to put too fine a point on it, sir, I am investigating a murder.
Who? Who's been murdered?
Well, until 60 seconds ago, sir, you.
Norman, darling,
Oh,
it is
hell.
you. Oh, no.
This is all I need.
No.
Miranda, do you know what's been going on?
Oh, thank God it's you. I mean, thank God it isn't. Oh, I must sit down.
Can we get her out of here? And that flaming dog.
Wait a minute, Arthur. Mrs. Peel, just for the formality of it, can you identify this man?
Don't be daft. Of course she can. That's what she's doing.
Thank you, Arthur.
Oh, Norman. Oh, darling. Such a terrible, terrible thing has
Can you
happened.
stum it a minute?
I thought you'd been murdered.
Listen,
And I bought a dress for your
Mr.
funeral.
My what? Are you drunk? Is everyone?
Oh, no.
No one is drunk, Mr. Tate, but someone is dead. And if you're not, then who is? You knew all the time.
No, dear heart, I didn't know. I simply believed. The Italian styling didn't go with the Economist diary.
That's what my governor said, but that's rubbish.
But then the clothes were all wrong. Tate is Geeves and Hawks and Hawes and Curtis. Admirably conventional.
Not Armani.
No, Arthur, not Armani.
I tell you, H, the Watsit's about to hit the fan.
Most disagreeable.
So, as I said, if it's not Tate, who is it I've got on the slab?
Unfortunately, Arthur, I had thought the obvious.
Mason.
It seemed so simple. Until that call from him on Saturday morning.
You've talked yourself into believing this one.
I suppose.
Here she is.
That's nice. You got through?
Straight away. She was having an early night with her little red boxes. I told her I was giving her the tip-off before she heard it elsewhere.
Suitably grateful?
Stormingly.
Really?
I'm going up to town on the 10 o'clock. Coco or a nightcap, and it was her idea.
She fancy you?
Other way round, Arthur.
Oh, I thought as much.
What you might think about is Miranda Peel.
Come on, she's loving it. Hasn't had so much fun since her second husband fell off the balcony.
Well, that being dramatic, I reckon she ought to keep away from her balcony. And her keyhole.
Listen, Mrs. S., that old darling may be the nosiest Parker in Hove, but her biggest enemy's 37.5% proof, not 12 bore.
If she's seen something, then, well, it's textbook stuff. Someone might decide to sort her.
It would be terrible to have to repeat this conversation to the coroner.
If I can find one, I'll put a constable up there tonight.
Well, better tell him to keep out of sight. She won't leave a good man out with the milk bottles.
You still haven't explained where this leaves me.
Tell you the truth, Mrs. Lindley.
Maggie.
Is that a good idea?
Oh, as long as you're not the ghost of Pierpoint, why not? Well, suit yourself.
That's the problem, I can't. The evidence is simple. Your initials and telephone number, the Home Secretary's initials and denied access phone number turn up in a murdered man's pocket.
But you know the connection. Tate's partner is my financial advisor. The diary is stolen. End of story.
But not end of investigation. We don't know why he kept the diary. We don't know why it was important to him that he had it in his pocket that night.
But it's still nothing to do with me.
That's why it's Mrs. Lindley.
You don't believe me?
I don't believe that you're telling me everything.
Thanks.
I'm being straight with you.
And I'm not?
I can understand it. You said I hadn't explained where this leaves you. That's what I'm doing.
Guilt by association.
Oh, come on. You're brighter than that. There's no guilt, but because there's a side of your life you want kept secret, that's the way it looks.
Did he tell you?
Did who tell me what?
Colvil. About my son.
No. What's so funny?
He promised he wouldn't.
Well, which may explain why he didn't.
Maybe. I had a son who wasn't Jack's.
Before or after you were married?
Before. James wasn't... Well, not everything was right. He's been in care ever since.
And your husband knew?
Yes.
And knew who the father was?
No.
Why not?
I told him it was a passing ship in a passing night.
Was it?
I didn't think so at the time. But as it turned out, yes, it was.
How old is James?
Does that matter?
It could.
Well, ask me when it does.
I must go.
You know they want me to resign.
Will you?
Probably.
Do whoever they are know that?
Doesn't matter. Once it's decided, government comes first.
The all-powerful party.
Well, it's nothing to do with the party. Everything's to do with being in government.
Henry tells me you were at Oxford with Lofthouse. He won't support you?
That's funny. Yeah, that's very funny. Charlie wouldn't support his own mother if her stick snapped.
Unless there was something in it for him.
Charlie looks ahead. As the stick snapped, he'd think, probate.
Tell me, if they're as ruthless as you say, how come Charlie Lofthouse hasn't forced you out by now?
Oh, I take it back, Alex. You are as smart as you sound. You see, Charlie's seen the stick snap, but he's not sure what's in my will.
Oh, good morning, my dear. You bring the sunshine.
Shh, they'll wake the dead.
No, not until they've finished their breakfast. I've never heard so many slipping teeth trying to grip sausage, egg and bacon. Help yourself, my dear.
No, thanks, no. I had something on the train.
So, Our Lady just wanted to talk?
About her son.
You,
Oh, no. I was the complete innocent. She asked if you told me, and I said no.
better that way.
I think she told me something she didn't tell you. Or rather, she didn't.
I'm stormingly confused.
Her son must be at least 8, maybe 9. They were married for 5 years before her husband was killed, and that was 2 years ago.
Didn't you ask?
That's why it interested me. She wouldn't tell me.
We must dig further. So, a worthwhile journey.
There's more. I think she's got something on Charlie Lofthouse, and it's the reason they haven't publicly dumped on her.
Any guesses?
Absolutely. I reckon the connection has never been Tate. It's Mason, and it goes back to Oxford.
Yes, it all does.
That what you think, or is that what you know?
Yes.
Yes, repeat, no.
Yes.
So we need to find him. Mason. It can't be, Henry. Can't be. When Mason was leaving a message on Maggie Linley's answer phone, whoever it is was already dead.
Perhaps not, my dear Alex. Perhaps not. Now, what time was the murder? 2 in the morning, yes?
Right. And Mason left a message on Maggie Linley's answer phone that morning.
How do we know?
The machine was cleared the night before at 11:30, I think. Mason telephoned her the following morning. He really did. I've heard it. Call me as soon as you can.
All right, then. What time did Mason call her?
Well, that we don't know. The message wasn't timed. And... How stupid, of course.
Mason could easily have called between 11:30 on Friday night and shortly before he was murdered at 2 a.m. the following morning.
If it was him.
Oh, I'm certain. Come, we have an appointment with one who may tell us why.
Boy, Blodwin, you got that stuff on the laundry, Mark?
Any moment now, sir.
Somebody open the window. D.S. Jenkins' pigeons coming in at Angels 1-5. You've been telling me that for 2 days.
I'm begging your pardon, sir. You've been telling me nothing for 2 days.
What?
Well, those friends of yours. I mean, who's running the case, sir? Are we, you, or them?
Listen, Blodwin.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not Blodwin. D.S. Gwen Jenkins, sir.
OK, Blodwin, I'm sorry. Let me explain. Mr. Colville and Mrs. Soames are in this because we seem to have the flippin' Home Secretary herself on the wriggle.
I know that, sir, but it's still a murder, and that's down to us. D.S. Jenkins? Right. No, I don't think so. But thanks anyway. Bye. The pigeon, sir. No laundry marks, no ID. So I suppose no Mason.
Hold on a minute, Blodwin. Who's got his gear?
Detained property, sir. But there's no laundry marks to ID it.
Get hold of it and ask someone at Lewis if we can get a sniff at the armpits. There'll be traces in the cotton. Do the same with his knickers. Talc, aftershave, then get someone into that Mason's bathroom in London. I want swapsies on this.
Do you think I could be right about him?
Blodwin, as you know, I think you're a genius. In spite of what everyone else says. Now, go and wriggle your bum at Chief Superintendent Evans and tell him we need a chitty to kick Mason's door down.
Sir, that's really offensive.
I know, but you do it so much better than me.
Where will you be, sir?
Back to Cumberland House. We keep walking past Randy Mandy's door. If we do, so does everybody else.
I'm not sure I like this.
We thought, Mr. Tate, it would be better to have an informal chat before the police arrived.
I don't believe you. I spend my life putting together deals all around the world. Some of them are sensitive. The way to make sure they don't screw up is never to believe anyone until the check's cleared.
Including your clients?
Including my clients.
Have you ever wondered if they feel the same about you?
The difference is, I've got a proven track record. They come to me. I never tout for business.
Does your partner, Mr. Mason, have the same trusting philosophy?
Paul? Easygoing. Looks flash, but he isn't. Just likes nice things. He's the pensions man. Steady, blue chip.
Equity-free.
Risk-free. He never takes them.
But you do.
Never without a calculator in one hand.
Would you say that your clients take a close interest in their accounts, or just in the profits?
What are you saying?
I heard that some financial advisers have been known to set up portfolios in their clients' names without telling them.
So?
A convenient way of dishonestly moving money under the cover of perfectly honest people.
I don't like this.
Of course you don't. But I thought I should tell you what I heard. I am, after all, very public-spirited.
What's this got to do with murder?
When did you last see Mr. Mason?
Last week. Wednesday. Before he went to Madrid.
We think that he may have telephoned the Home Secretary, and the number's in your diary.
Ah, so that's it. Politics. Might have known it's more than a murder inquiry.
An explanation would help.
Simple. Mrs. Lindley's a client of ours. Of my partner, really. He gave me the number.
Why?
It was the last time he was away. 3 weeks ago. We were preparing a new portfolio. If it had been ready before he was back, I was to call.
And you thought it was okay to put a top-secret number in your diary?
Is it top secret? I didn't know that.
He didn't say so?
Isn't that what I've just said?
What about the minister's initials?
I'm not with you.
Mr. Tate, please. I went through the diary. I've seen them. 5 appointments against the initials M.L. M.L. Maggie Lindley.
What a coincidence. How funny.
There's not much to find funny in murder.
So touchy. I meant funny peculiar. M.L. may stand for Maggie Lindley. It also stands for something else.
Who?
That is confidential.
The police won't think so.
I really don't care. Ask your precious Home Secretary, she'll tell you. M.L. in my diary is not Maggie Lindley.
Loved your policeman.
I hope not.
Naughty boy. Came in for a nightcap. Got to be sociable.
I don't want to hear any more.
Careful, darling. Don't want to drown you, do we?
Here you go, love. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, Pinky. Little drop of Pimm's in the bowl, if you would, for Pinky.
This dog over 18.
Oh, he loves it. Loves it to bits. Don't you, Pinky?
Can't do him any good. Canine DTs if ever I saw a case.
Visitors.
Here?
Next door. Norman's. They're just going.
How do you know it's not the postman?
Pinky. Different barks for different people. Frightens the life out of the postman.
There's nothing of him.
Oh, he's a big lad. Put a drop more ruin in there, darling. Don't bother with the tonic.
But you don't need a burglar alarm, do you?
Oh, no. That's lovely. No, here's everything.
Tell me, love, when did you last see Mason here?
Told you before.
Have a think about it and tell me again.
Friday. Friday morning.
What time?
10ish. We hadn't had our bath, had we?
That was the morning Tate went away. Talked to him?
Oh, no. Came the night before.
Thursday. Then come back next morning.
You'll have to ask him. But I don't think so. Think he stayed. Not both of them. Just Paulie.
Tate went off, did he? What time was this?
11 o'clock. Not Norman. Paulie's friend.
So Tate's in his flat and Paulie and his mucker turn up.
You've got it.
Him or her?
Him.
Ever meet him?
The friend? No. Know him, though. Seen him in the papers and on the telly. You know him, darling. That Charlie Lofthouse.
Are you pulling my what's it?
Come on, darling. We're both past that.
Yes. Okay. Very well. Well?
What's this about you seeing that Soames woman again?
Who told you?
You didn't.
I'm looking after my interests.
We had an agreement. We can get out of this, but I'm driving.
If I stuck to your script, I'd be going quietly by now.
And unless you get back on message...
Whose message?
My message. Unless you get back to it, then he'll be writing to you instead of you to him.
Don't threaten, Charlie. You see, all I'll lose is my job, and that wouldn't be for long. I'm clean. Unlucky, but clean. You're lucky, but dirty.
Crap.
I'd say so.
This is still under control.
I don't think it ever was. You're okay as long as everyone's following your rules. When someone doesn't, you lose control. You've lost it now.
I'm not the one being questioned by the police.
You will be, once they find out you knew Tate was alive and they didn't.
If they'd been clever, they'd have found out themselves. I simply rang the villa.
I don't believe you. That's what they've been doing. Anyway, why call the villa if you thought he was dead?
Not Tate's villa. I called Paul's. I was trying to find him. Eventually that crazy cleaner answered. She said she hadn't seen him. Then she said, why not try Senor Tate?
He was there?
According to her. And he'd been up to Paul's that morning.
What for?
She didn't know. Something about papers.
And you spoke to him?
I'm not stupid. Imagine it. He comes back here and says to the police, Charlie Lofthouse tells me you think I'm dead. Guess who's next for the hose pipe?
Why did you need Paul?
You know damn well.
Lover's tiff.
Don't be cheap. He'd gone to ground. He may have needed help, so I had to call.
Which, Charlie, is why the police will eventually get to you.
What do I do with this lot, sir?
What's that?
Just telephone bills. They're Tate's, not Mason's.
Let's have a look.
Maybe Mason paid the company bills.
And maybe we got a list of everyone Tate called for the past 3 months. Bag it, we take it. That it then? What do you think?
The suits match, sir. Shirts could be anyone's.
Shoes?
Gucci, but they're common enough.
Not in our house, they're not. Ah, now this is better.
Sir?
Passport.
Oh, so he didn't go to Spain?
No, he probably got 2 or 3, but what's special about this one, then?
Well, it's no good. It's the old style. Out of date by the look of it.
Exactly, Blodwin. Now, look, I'll learn you something. The old passports had something the new ones don't. Page 2, line 4.
Distinguishing mark, scar inside right thigh.
Like it?
Oh, yes, sir, very much.
So do I, Blodders. I think we got ourselves a result. Well, come on. By the way, you pick up that photo.
In the bedroom? Don't worry. Says it all, doesn't it, sir?
Hello? Oh, hello. Henry wants you. It's Tom.
Ah, Tom. Very quickly. We have some disturbing evidence involving your favourite person. The very same. I think it's time I met him. Can you arrange that? Immediately. I'm coming back to London this afternoon. Excellent. I shall telephone as soon as I arrive. What? Certainly not. Goodbye.
What, certainly not?
Tell me, my dear, do I look the sort of person who would own a mobile telephone?
Not unless you'd inherited one.
Where you been? You got more messages than Doris Stokes.
Don't worry, sir. I got some real table tapping going.
What do you got?
The taxi driver, sir, Bob, the one who took Tate to the airport, seems the chief superintendent was right, sir. Drugs.
And Mason's in this?
Tate. According to Bob, anyway. He reckons the boat's got something to do with it.
Bringing the stuff in?
He says no. He says it's dosh, sir. It goes out in Tate's boat.
Which would explain why the dogs sniffed it clean. How does this Bob know?
I don't know. But if he doesn't, he's taking a hell of a risk.
Why?
His kid. He reckons his kid's into it and can't get out. Bob wants it busted.
So he tells us. You believe him?
He says, mind you, sir, that he told someone else.
Oh, now I'm getting it. Let me guess.
Exactly, sir. He reckons he told Mason.
I thought it best to meet here. Informal, discreet.
Still get a recent bit of fish?
Oh, quite good. I hear you voted ladies at your club.
And bottled fizzy water.
Sign of your times, Henry. Voted against, did you?
The water?
Not the ladies.
No. Shouldn't like to be one. Well, what about this man? He'll come?
Making a point. That's the power thing, you know.
Talk of the devil, you may be right.
Hello, Charlie. Come and sit down. Charlie Lofthouse, Henry Colvil.
How do you do?
10 minutes. Let's go.
Henry?
Before you start, house rules. This meeting hasn't happened. Agreed?
Of course. Which is why I suggested here rather than Downing Street.
Okay. Go.
Go?
Just bid, Mr. Colville, then we can deal.
Oh, very well. As I'm sure you know...
No preliminaries. Single syllables.
Charlie, there's no need for this.
You asked me here, so speak.
Right. Your dear friend Paul Mason is lying in the Brighton morgue with his face obliterated by a shotgun, both barrels.
You bastard. You crummy little bastard. What are you saying?
I think I was concise.
It's not true. It's untrue.
Charlie, please.
You're lying.
Charlie, sit down.
No. Take it easy.
About death one does not take it easy. Most certainly this one does not.
He can't be. It can't be him.
When did you last see him?
It can't be true.
When?
Friday morning.
At Norman Tate's apartment in Hove?
He's told you?
No.
Well, then how...
Mr. Lofthouse, perhaps we should start again. But before we do, let me explain my role. I am not a policeman, but there are policemen. I am not interested in murder, but there is a murder. I have a single function: to make certain that the events surrounding this investigation cause no aspect of government to be compromised.
I brought Henry and Charlie, not the police.
I am not a bounty hunter. Your social and certainly your political scalp holds no interest for me.
Who says? If you think for one moment that I...
My dear sir, why don't we take a short stroll to my set of rooms, where if you wish to shout, you will not excite the gentleman in the corner, who I believe is a senior member of the media.
He was a lovely guy. Very quiet. Wrote a lot of poetry. He read English, but that wasn't important. Just being there was.
I can imagine.
Where were you at university?
Harvey Nicks.
First in economics.
Right. I tried to reinvent supply side all by myself with the help of just one credit card.
Lucky you.
Tell me more about him and Charlie Lofthouse.
Why?
Well, Mason had a photograph of them both by his bed. They were on a beach somewhere.
Charlie's hideaway in North Norfolk.
Him and Mason?
He'll be devastated.
How sad.
Most love is, isn't it?
I imagine it's great when you're old.
There sure isn't anything in between. Well, not in this job. You're either fragrant or a tramp.
That's not true. That's a hard luck story.
Okay, try this. A minister screws around. If he's a man, he's a hero. He can write a book about it. How I screwed for England.
It's nice to have done something well.
A seat in the Lords. A job as a BBC presenter. Now, if a woman does it, she's a slag. Explain.
I don't have to. It's too simple, too obvious. But you're not in that deep.
Oh, don't you get it? Charlie, in fact, the Prime Minister, sees this as bad news for the government because I'm connected to a murder.
That's not a moral question.
It doesn't have to be. And now this.
Mason.
Right. Paul and I were friends. Real friends.
So real, you denied you knew him.
You don't understand.
Heroines 40 years ago used that one.
Self-protection.
Anyway, forget all this self-justification. At the end of the day, you're nothing more than a diary entry.
No, I still don't know why. Apart from that one party 2 years ago, Tate and I never met. You believe me, don't you?
Everyone believes you. The problem is everyone wants an explanation, and Tate won't give it.
I've been thinking about it. Almost about nothing else. One person apart from Tate knows who ML is.
Go on.
ML.
Thanks, very helpful.
What you think about it? You're the intelligence officer, I'm just the on-message politician.
What am I supposed to be thinking?
Think ML. ML. Or even...
Do you know who it is?
It's just dawning on me. You know, Alex, I think I do. The coincidence is too crazy. How do I appear in Tate's diary?
ML with your telephone number.
Okay. So when Tate writes ML on the appointment pages, you naturally think...
That Tate has appointments with you, ML.
Of course. But what if ML on the appointment pages doesn't stand for Maggie Lindley?
You mean because it's someone else? Okay. But who?
Not one person. 2. M and L.
M and L. Marks and...
My God. How thick can we be? Of course, M and L, Mason and Lofthouse. That's who Tate's been meeting.
You heard Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colville, Amanda Redman as Alex Soames, and Dudley Sutton as Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Detective Sergeant Gwen Jenkins was played by Sue Jones-Davies, Maggie Lindley by Alphonsia Emanuel, Charlie Lofthouse by Alistair McGowan, Tom Margeson by Tom Kocher, Miranda Peale by Sheila Reid, and Norman Tate by Brian Bowles. Colvil and Soames is written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. Colvil and Soames by Christopher Lee. Bad Apples, Episode 6.
Fine. I will see you in Brighton in the morning. Bye. Mr. Lofthouse, my apologies. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. You were telling us about your visit to,
Brighton.
Hove, actually.
Who told you? Was it Tate?
You and Paul Mason arrived together Thursday night. You left alone. You returned Friday morning.
To see Paul, not Tate.
Did he say, or did you know, that he was in danger?
Paul? No.
Then why were you there?
Just a break.
5 in the past month.
It must have been Tate.
5 MLs in Tate's appointments diary.
Maggie Lindley was there as well. Impossible.
Just a moment, Tom, just a moment. Why, Mr. Lofthouse, did you not tell us?
Your Poirot.
And the little grey cells failed. But not those of Mrs. Soames. That was she at the telephone. ML. So very, very simple. ML. Not Maggie Lindley, but Mason and Lofthouse.
You two. You let her go through all this. Why?
You've already said. I knew she'd be okay. Her diary wouldn't match Tate's.
But you tried to force her resignation.
That's a private matter.
An opportunity.
Everything's an opportunity.
Including your relationship with Norman Tate.
What's that mean?
Charlie, you were with Paul and Tate on Friday morning. Tate was in Mallorca 5 hours later. You were not. Paul was murdered 10 hours later.
Okay. Paul and Tate were running a perfectly legit investment business.
Totally offshore.
The revenue never got a sniff. Last year, Paul got nervous. He discovered Tate was using client names to open second accounts they knew nothing about.
Their money?
No, just their names.
Whose money?
Paul didn't know. Then.
As a partner, one would have thought he could ask.
He did. Tate said he'd explain later.
He was that easily put off?
Paul wasn't pushy. Look at his portfolios. Quiet, safe, very blue chip.
How did you get involved?
He was my friend.
Fine. But something must have happened.
Right. It started at a party down at the villa. Some of Tate's friends were, well, pretty suspect.
In what way?
Big money. Very big. And the minders were even bigger in carrying. This wasn't Paul's league.
Tate?
He said Paul was out of his head. Just a little business, he called it. Paul thought maybe these guys were supplying the money.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes? Okay. What are they saying? That it? Okay. I'm on my way. Anything else comes up, tell them you'll call back in an hour, okay? No, I'll tell him myself. Bye. Shit.
Problem?
The Independent's got it.
Oh, dear.
Everything?
I'll tell you that in the morning.
If I could figure it out, how come you lot couldn't?
I suppose we decided it was you. After all, you were the only identifiable ML in his diary.
You thought I was lying.
You were.
At first?
Then why not at second? You're the Home Secretary. We have to think the unthinkable. We heard it was drug money.
I don't know.
Or want to.
Or want to. Paul set up a blind trust for James, my son. He's incurable. So are the medical bills. I couldn't afford to pull out.
But why Charlie Lofthouse?
Paul needed help, and he did what he'd always done. Went to Charlie.
They're that close.
Desperately. Have been ever since Oxford. 60 years ago, they'd have worshipped at the temple, skinny-dipped in the Rhine, and written very bad poetry to Spender.
Little boys hitting each other goodbye.
What?
I must have read it. Doesn't sound long, hot summers and discovering innocence.
You don't understand, do you, Alex?
I understand Paul Mason under Brighton Pier with half his head scattered 20 feet away.
Violence was always a subtext.
I bet that goes down well in cabinet committees.
I'm talking about two sensitive friends I've known all my adult life.
Your sensitive friend, Charlie Lofthouse, got the Prime Minister to sack you.
That doesn't mean... Oh, it doesn't matter. You wouldn't...
Understand?
Or perhaps one day I'll tell you.
Why not now?
I don't think it would help.
It's easier not to understand. Easier for you, that is. You can always use it.
Okay. Do you remember asking when James was born?
Mm-hmm.
He's 22.
Oh, I see.
Well, there's just one other question, isn't there?
That's up to you.
Yes, it is, isn't it? But then you'll
understand.
I'll tell you one thing, Mrs. S. It sounds all right, but suppose she's lying.
Why should she?
She's a flaming politician.
Oh, come on, Arthur. This is a murder case, not the Today programme.
Well, number two, she's done nothing else but lie.
OK, one to you.
Number three, all this stuff about Lofthouse and his lover boy drops Lofthouse right into what's it, which is exactly what he's been doing to her.
That's not what she's doing.
Oh, my mistake. I do so apologise. Come off it, Mrs. S. She probably eats her peas with a flick knife.
Arthur, I was there. Instincts can sometimes be very... right.
Having din-dins, were you?
Yes, but it wasn't...
Next time, try a longer spoon.
Henry's less cynical.
You think I've just come off the boats?
Ask him.
What time's the old bugger getting down?
I'm meeting him at 10:30 and we're seeing Tate at 11.
He'll be well twitchy by then. I reckon the papers will be turning him over.
Tate? I'd have thought Lofthouse was the target.
Yeah, but Tate's the way into him. They've been waiting for Big Charlie to take a tumble. It's the old Scharnhorst thing.
Schadenfreude.
No, darling, Scharnhorst. They want to sink the bastard.
You fed them.
Me? How could you think such a thing, Mrs. S? How could you?
Oh, hello, sir. I was about to bleep you.
Not without written permission from Mrs. Guscott, I hope, Sergeant.
D.C. Hickson has been down to the marina. And here's interesting. The people on the fuel jetty, they reckon Tate's boat is alongside at least 2 and often 3 times a month.
Is that unusual?
Yes, sir. Full tanks every time.
That's long distance, straight over to France.
That's what I thought. So I checked with the marinas on the other side. They don't know the boat.
Would they?
Regular visitors say yes. I was thinking that if he doesn't go over to, say, Fécamp or Cherbourg or somewhere, then, well, it's smuggler's tale, sir.
Rendezvous. That's French. He meets up in the middle of the Ogging.
Could be.
I reckon it's time we put the heat on, Tate. I've got a little job for you, Blodwin.
Sir?
Your taxi driver friends, why don't you drop a word that we're about to feel his collar? See who stands to attention. Eh?
The man's a professional shyster. The whole country knows. Didn't you see the papers this morning? They love it.
Mr. Lofthouse claims your partner discovered you were running, at the very least, additional accounts in your clients' names without their knowledge.
Rubbish.
One of them being Maggie Lindley.
She say that? Or is that what she was told?
I should tell you that the police believe you have been... Well, the Chief Inspector's phrase is a laundry basket. Perhaps for drug moneys.
You're not very smart, are you, Mr. Colville? I mean, laundering money is a dangerous business, and frankly, not a profitable one.
You know that, do you?
Actually, yes, I do. I spend a lot of my time with my ear to the ground, and without getting my head trodden on. There's no more than 4% in shifting bad money.
On the odd million, that's not bad.
There are no odd millions. They're all hard to come by. But on 7 figures, I can turn between 13 and 15%. So why would anyone bend for those sort of percentages?
Apparently some of your associates are in off-colour as well as offshore enterprises.
Lofthouse again? And you believe him?
He is very convincing.
And your client.
Is he? Hell. He damn well wanted to be. And in a big way.
You're saying Charlie Lofthouse is not a client of Tate and Mason?
Charlie Lofthouse came to see me because his bedmate couldn't fix up the sort of deal he needed.
He wanted you to arrange his finances?
Rearrange them. OK, I'll tell you. Charlie Lofthouse wanted me to set up a blind trust overseas.
Who for?
For him. For Mr. Watch My Lips Lofthouse. He's in all sorts of shit. Before they got into government, he had 5 directorships.
Yes, but which he dropped on day 1.
Not the money. It was all performance-related, or whatever the latest euphemism is for fat-catting. That money came in dividends and share options at the end of their financial years, and therefore after the election.
And he wanted you to hide the money offshore?
Well, it's more complicated than that, but yes, that's about the size of it.
Big money?
You'd think so.
This is exactly the opposite of what he says.
Well, Mrs. Soames, that, I'm afraid, is your problem. I'm sure I need not remind you of the only memorable saying of Miss Rice Davis.
So we're down to he says, she says, he says. He would say that, wouldn't he?
What about the man Tate met at the airport last Friday?
Contract written all over it.
So we're left with motive.
Let's go back to the beginning. Why did he have Tate's diary? Tate says his briefcase was nicked.
And the diary was in it.
So who gave the diary to Paul Mason?
If Mason nicked the briefcase himself, no one. Jenkins!
Sir?
You done those phone numbers yet?
On your desk, sir. Since yesterday.
Where?
The yellow sheet, sir, under your mug.
Oh, all right. Well, you want to tell us then?
Column on the left's all the numbers in his diary. On the right, the ones that match from his telephone accounts. I filtered the institutions, banks and investment houses, sir. I was left with a load of 30-second calls, all public phones.
But we're still no nearer knowing why Mason was murdered.
Excuse me, sir. Isn't the important point that we were never meant to know who was murdered?
And we didn't. We thought we did, but...
Why did we think Tate was dead?
Because we found his diary in the dead man's pocket.
And because the poor devil had no face left, we had no other means of identification, and so... Oh, how stupid.
The diary wasn't supposed to be there.
Henry, is that why you asked right at the start which pocket the diary was in?
I'm afraid so. But unlike Sergeant Jenkins, I abandoned the chase. Sergeant?
Well, sir, at that range, 2, maybe 3 meters, it's much easier to shoot into the stomach. Face obliterated suggests a deliberate attempt to hamper the identification of the victim. Remember, there was nothing else, nothing at all in the pockets, not even a credit card.
Whoever wasted him went through him and took the lot.
Except for the back pocket. Gunman in a hurry. Body lying on its back on a public beach. Very thin leather diary in back pocket.
Hence the only mistake, and only one person to make it.
Tate?
Tate. Was hardly nipped round to the laundrette, has he now?
One more.
With feeling. Could be anywhere by now. We'll do the stations, Gatwick and Newhaven.
And the marina.
Just testing, H. Just testing.
He doesn't buy at the door, darling. He sells.
Ah, Mrs. Peel. A very good morning to you.
Hello, love. When did he go?
Not long after you.
I see. 11:30 or so?
Or so. Shush, Pinky. Hasn't had a drinky poos yet. Makes him grumpy.
You see him or hear him?
Well, Pinky heard him first, didn't you, darling? Then I just happened to look over the balcony. There he was, gone. Not so much as a wave.
Well, perhaps a stroll.
With that bag, darling. It looked heavy enough for a week in the Arctic. Or the bottle bank.
Could I have the borrow of your phone?
No mobile?
Can't abide them.
Well, come on in, then. You too, Mr. Colville.
Thank you.
Two of you. I am honoured.
Unlikely, love, but thanks for the thought.
What news, my dear?
We're either wrong or early. Here, hang on to this.
Oh, well, I feel one should at least be piped aboard.
We don't even have whistles now, sir.
Do you think one might have been blown?
Could be. He hasn't come along the pontoon. We talked to the guy over there working on that boat.
Ah, yes. Hasn't seen him.
No, and he knows him. Done some work on this one.
Is she ready to go? Fueled up?
A spare set. I never gave them back to the dock office. But I wouldn't know where to start.
Henry, you're the one with rum bum and baccy in your passport.
Ah, thank you.
Henry was Navy.
Had a crush on a sailor once, I did.
Not this one, my dear. Ah, no. Now, let me see.
Oh, looks more like a plane than a ship.
Boat.
Sorry.
Well, she appears to be ready. Both tanks are full.
All we need is the captain.
Whom, I suspect, sleeps not below.
Oh, the devil.
DS Jenkins? Yes, sir? Right. What about backup? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Very comforting, I'm sure.
Well, Sussex all out of 100.
Not as bad as that, I suppose. I'm to stay here. The DCI reckon Tate's been seen at Brighton Station getting on the London train.
Well, that clears one mystery.
Well, not quite, sir. The train goes to London, but that doesn't mean Tate does.
Well, how do I know this? Look, I said, how do I know this? I need something. They won't just do it on my say-so. Hang on. Cayman Principles and Futures. OK, I'll try. Hello? Hello? Bastard.
It's obviously someone we know.
Tate.
Where?
Mobile. He's got a proposition. He wants a meet.
Excellent.
He's under pressure, or why bother?
But who's putting the squeeze on? We're not. We're trying to, but we haven't got anything that a smart lawyer couldn't squash.
Maybe my sergeant's done the business.
Who, incidentally, Arthur, is very brave, but should you be standing by to repel all boarders single-handed?
Now, don't worry. I've moved her to the top of the dock office with Higson. She'll be all right, as long as he keeps his hands to himself.
What business is it that Sergeant Jenkins may have done, Arthur?
Right. Young Blod's let it be known around the rough trade that we're about to lift him.
So, if we're right, his own people will be anxious.
Exactly, H. That was the master plan.
So what's his meeting for?
Tate wants to eyeball Lofthouse and Linley. We're piggies.
They won't agree to that.
He reckons I whisper Cayman Principles and Futures in Lofthouse's arcing apparatus. They'll be down here like a flash of camel dung.
Why not? This whole business reeks of it. When?
Closing time. Tonight. As it's your turn, we'll have one in the Grosvenor, then round to his flat. You fancy it, H? Bloomin' heck. Oh, you think they can afford to get that lift fixed? They pay enough for these places.
Don't worry, Arthur. When the heart goes, you can sue.
I fear a stout and aged policeman with the smell of beer about his person would gain little sympathy from a tribunal. That's better.
They are coming.
I left it to Tom. But yes, the message was they'd be here by 11:30.
Maybe they're inside already.
Hello, darling. Back again, I see.
The exercise. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Should have used the lift.
It's out of order. Again.
It's not, darling.
4-inch sodding letters says it is.
Oh, no. You just leave that on for the door knockers.
My God, Father James, as an aging relative says.
You know, washes and things puts them off. Not going to lug one of them suitcases all the way up here now, are they?
God, this gets more bizarre. Come on.
Just knock. They're in there.
Who?
Your friends. That Mr. Loftside and what's her name? You know, the Home Office one.
To think we spend millions on GCHQ.
I gave them the key. Norman said for me to give it to whoever arrived first. Tell them to make themselves at home, he said. Very sociable, he is.
Where is he, then?
Oh, he's gone, darling. I thought you'd know that.
If we're being set up, I will personally see
Look,
to it...
Mr. Lofthouse, something's going on I don't understand. You do. Both of you do.
I don't think, Inspector, you quite understand the seriousness of this.
Look, I've got your mucker, or what's left of him, in the fridge. Don't talk to me about seriousness.
And don't you talk to me about...
Eat your heart out, Agatha.
Yes?
Which one's that?
Tate? This is Colvil.
Sorry I couldn't stay. Switch on the video. It's all set.
I don't understand.
Ask someone who does. Bye.
It was him.
Tate.
Told us to switch on the apparatus.
The what?
Where is he?
The video.
Oh, that's it. I'm out.
Charlie, sit down. For once in your life, see something through.
There's already a tape in. Lights, camera, action, I suppose.
It's tempting to say you're probably wondering why I've called you all here. Well, the fact that you're here proves you know.
You miserable bastard.
The fact of the matter
Charlie,
is that
shut up.
if Paul had stuck to his job of tucking your money away, then life would have been simple. Even his. By the way, I have copies of your investments. Yours must be worth $5.5 million by now, Charlie. Yours, Mrs. Lindley, just under $1 million. Well, that would look good in the news of the world, wouldn't it? As I say, it was Paul's fault.
I'll have him. I will.
It was Paul's fault, because if he hadn't been so damned stupid as to steal my diary, then it wouldn't have been in his pocket, and your name, Mrs. Lindley, wouldn't have come into this. Why he was killed, it doesn't matter. But, Inspector, and you too, Mr. Colville, should know this, it had nothing to do with me. Paul found a couple of numbers in my diary. Numbers of very private people. He tried to warn them off. They have their own methods. For the moment, I have nothing more to say. But I will, if you force me to. As you know, Charlie, the tabloids would love to hear the full story. I wonder if the last one out would be kind enough to switch off the lights? Good night.
Not boring in Hove, is it?
You believe that stuff? You believe that he didn't set up Paul?
For once, Mr. Lofthouse, I'm with you. Where's your protection, Mrs. Lindley?
Well, I told them, not here.
Nice one.
Well,
I'll have a car downstairs in 5 minutes. Go and sit in my office.
You don't tell us what to do. You seem to be forgetting something.
You seem to be forgetting what happened to your mate. Do it. Come on, H. We got some business.
Oh, so masterful.
Lead on, dear heart. Lead on.
Oh, it's you, darling. And your lovely friend.
Oh, my God.
Don't piss us about, love. Where is he?
Where's who? Oh, shush, Pinky.
Come on, give.
Oh, this is very sudden.
Mrs. Peel.
I'm warning you. Look, he gives you the key. Once we're all inside, he rings. You must have told him, because no one else knew.
Just being neighbourly, you know. Wasn't we, Pinky, darling?
Look, love, we're doing murder here, not Mornington Crescent. Now, where is he?
Look, you upset him.
Any minute now, I'm going to shove that pyjama case where it'll never yap in daylight again.
Oh,
Shut him up and start telling.
Please, Mrs. Peel, it's important. Where was Mr. Tate when you called him?
I think he was at the marina.
What have you done with him, then?
There was nothing we could do, sir. We were up here. Suddenly he was on the pontoon. Next thing he's leaving.
Can't we stop him at the mouth of the harbour?
Not unless you got an exocet.
Lewis reckons they'll have the helicopter airborne in 10 minutes.
So we can track him.
Here he comes, look. He's got one more turn, then he'll be in the main channel.
That's him.
Stopped to get the cricket results, did you?
Oh, dear. Age does not come alone.
Blodwyn, tell Higson to see if the Navy can help. Fishery protection, anything they can put to sea.
Kilo Fibre, this is Foxtrot 2, over.
Foxtrot 2, over.
DCI wants Lewis to fix Navy support. Suggest hello does position relays.
Roger, Foxtrot 2.
Foxtrot 2, out.
You'll need an interception. She'll do 40 knots all day.
What happens if he gets outside the 12-mile limit?
Don't you worry, Mrs. S. We'll get him even if we have to sink the bastard.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear. You make a habit of this, H.
Oh, this is dreadful.
Hey, Blodwyn, tell Higson to stand down the cavalry.
Perhaps we'll never really know.
You think? The real truth is that no one will wish to know.
Tate organised it.
Of course. I'm certain that he was telling us near enough the truth to be plausible. Mason would have told Tate he suspected what was going on.
So Tate was told by his masters to fix it, just as they fixed him.
I suspect he was sent the means to do so.
The man at the airport.
Then Tate got on his aircraft and left the country, fully expecting to be able to return 6 days later, wide-eyed and innocent.
And if Mason hadn't stolen Tate's diary...
And had it in his pocket, then the connection with Tate would have gone undiscovered. Perhaps forever.
Just another drugs killing.
I wonder what will happen to all the investment.
Presumably the banks will sort it.
I have no sympathy for friend Lofthouse, a seemingly excessive amount of money. But Mrs. Linley, you mentioned it was for a sad cause.
Her son. Terrible. Tragically ill. He's been in care since the day he was born.
Dreadfully sad. And her husband left them unprovided for.
He never knew. He wasn't the father.
She was abandoned.
The child's father never knew. Still doesn't. Not even after this.
Not even after... Ah, right. Charlie Lofthouse?
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand. It's a miserable world, my dear. So very, very unfair.
Every cloud, Henry. Every cloud. Sussex won today.
They did?
Yes, sir. By 4 wickets.
You didn't tell me.
We were busy, remember? Odd place. Brighton.
Hove. Hove, actually.
You heard Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colville, Amanda Redman as Alex Soames, and Dudley Sutton as Detective Chief Inspector Guscott. Detective Sergeant Gwen Jenkins was played by Sue Jones-Davies, Maggie Lindley by Alphonsia Emanuel, Charlie Lofthouse by Alistair McGowan, Tom Margeson by Tom Kocher, Miranda Peel by Sheila Reid, and Norman Tate by Brian Bowles. Colvil and Soames is written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin.